Welcome everybody to our latest session of the Rise of Tiamat. If you happened to listen to our last session and thought, man, these guys are really good with no DM, how did they just figure all this out? Well, my voice wasn't working, wasn't being captured, but that has since been fixed. So yes, thanks to Vic, who pointed that out to me, and a couple other people who mentioned it as well. Appreciate that. So yeah, we'll go ahead as typical. We will do a quick recap of last week's session. Obviously, this recap is going to be a bit more brief because I couldn't use the recording as a good reminder of what all occurred last week, but that just means plenty of opportunities for the players to think of something to add for inspiration. So yeah, pro and con. All right, so team, you'll likely remember when we picked up last week, we started with you guys by the river as you had been doing some fishing, particularly Kurtu and Rasmus, when Kurtu noticed all of these serpent-like heads suddenly popping out of the water. Turned out to be a 9-headed hydra that the group had to contend with pretty quickly. Overall, that battle went pretty well for the players, both with the players doing significant damage to the Hydra, with Kurtu dropping a wall of fire, which sort of made it difficult for the creature to get past, and with Rasmus, as he stepped away, the creature had a very impactful fumble as it tried to hit him an opportunity attack, and essentially was lost a turn. So as the team continued pummeling into the creature, wounded it very badly, had it very much near death, then its turn came up, and it quickly made its way back to the waters and swam under the water into this dark, deep, murky water where nobody had good line of sight on it anymore, so it survived the day. But luckily nobody in the party was particularly damaged or hurted much of the way in this battle, so the team finished up a little bit of sort of camping type stuff here and then just moved on. As the team moved on, there was some discussions about what to do, where exactly to go. Verum has been with the group. The group has sort of been pulling him along. There's been a couple of different interrogation type situations, or really just asking him questions. Overall, Verum seems to be willing to provide some information. He has explained that the leader of the Cult of the Dragon, this Severin, would not allow him back in the cult at this point. He has obviously failed, so he's not thinking that there's any chance for him to return. So he's been fairly forthcoming with the information that he has provided, and is again, trying to, for the most part, I would say the party thinks he's been fairly straightforward. He has been bound and gagged most of the travel, and the group is still sort of plodding along as they're traveling from the Tomb of Diderus, which was the last sort of location that they were at, primary location, and continuing traveling along the river, the Serpent's Tail stream, as they make their way back to the sort of more primary path. During this time, there's been a couple of interesting sort of random encounters that have occurred. Of the one in specific that comes to mind is as the group was traveling, getting closer back to where their wagons and driver and horses were, there was a sinkhole that opened up underneath the group. When this occurred, the group found themselves falling, some of them falling into this sinkhole, others were able to step back away, preventing from falling in. Down below is sort of a small cavern, a decent distance wide, and it was filled sort of with quicksand. So as the ground broke free and the group, some of the members of the group fell below, hit into this cakey, quicksand-like material and began sort of slowly descending. There was an effort to try to get, I believe it was Rasmus was the first one in. Eventually Gale fell in as well as he was trying to assist, and then used a face step to get back to the top. The edge of the sinkhole was very treacherous terrain, and moving around the edge of it almost assuredly would cause a team member to be at risk of falling in. During this time, with Rasmus being down there, he was able to see a small statue. It looked to be a statue of a little girl off in a corner, sort of in this ridge down below. And it seemed as though there was this voice emitting from the statue, and it was asking for help. So this piqued the interest of Rasmus and the group, and after some heroics using rope and jumping and grabbing on and so on and so forth, Rasmus was able to make his way over there to the statue, take it, and bring it back up. Eventually everybody was safe from the sinkhole, and it turned out the statue could actually speak. It sounded very much like a little girl, and after going back and forth with some questions and using some procured knowledge over time, Armony was able to recognize that this statue, based on the name that it had provided, is actually part of the religious training for Paylor. That's where she would have learned about it. It is associated with the Paleo religion, essentially is sort of like related or is the name of an angel, and is known to be associated with healing and restoration. The statue explained that she was missing her mother and wanted to be reunited with her mother. Once the group asked where her mother was and asked again some better questions, was able to determine that her mother is actually in Subar. So the team wonders who the mother of a statue is, but thought this was interesting. Had a bit of a discussion amongst themselves about should they head that way, what should they do with Verum, what is the priority, but ultimately decided that yes, it probably makes the most sense that you travel down to the Borskaya Bridge and then pass through there to the sort of tent city of Subar and see if you can find that statue and reunite this little girl statue. So with that part completed, the group continued on their way, making more distance between the tomb and back towards more of like civilization here. There was some other events that took place as well, but again, without access to my recording, I'm struggling with my memory here. So I will go ahead and pause it there and say, is there anything else anybody would like to add to our recap from last week?
Oh my God, please. Everyone has something to add, right? Hey, I'll only add about the statue because I'm sure everyone remembers what happened at the end. But the statue cried and had tears, wanting his mother so much, and it was Gale who. So Kurtu cast Fly on Gale. Gale went down and grabbed the statue, flew around with it, and Gale was took some tears and tasted the tears of the statue. It was cool and refreshing. I don't know if it was magical in any way or healing, but the tears that came from the statue was good, and that motivated Gale to want to set this down.
Yes, good addition, Gale. Go ahead and take inspiration. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add?
Yeah, right there at the end, Rasmus jumped off the top of his normal spot of the carriage and went, I don't know, maybe 100 feet in front of everybody, and he, because they saw a corpse, and he stabbed the corpse in the shoulder to make sure it was dead, and flipped it over, and he got attacked by all of this pus and made him sick. So, yeah, he's diseased or something now, based on Armony's deduction.
Yes, indeed, right? So you guys did spot this body lying down on the ground, and as you approached Rasmus, noticed that it looked recently dead, and yeah, flipped it over, and sure enough, it had some illness associated with it, particularly spotted by these pustules and boils on its skin. This exposed Rasmus to it, and he seemed to not notice anything right away. And then shortly later, Gale came up trying to get Rasmus to step away from the body, and Gale was also exposed to it, and the rest of the party were avoiding them like they had the plague. Good addition.
That's the way to say it without getting demonetized.
Go ahead and take inspiration for that. Anything else anybody would like to add?
I have inspiration already, so I will let anyone else take the opportunity first.
Same here. I just have more of a couple questions.
Fair enough, Art. If there's no additional ads, feel free to shoot off your questions there, Army. Oh, do we still have you there, Armini?
Sorry about that. I was just curious. I mean, it seems like based off of the symptoms that they ended up developing, that Armini knows what disease they have, and I was just wondering. And I recall you saying that there was like a certain number of days that they would be expected to live, and so I was just wondering how many days have passed and how many days are left in that prognosis.
Sure. So quick recap on that. So when Armini tried to determine the specific disease that Rasmus had obtained based on this encounter, she wasn't able to identify it specifically. She figured it must be one of 7 different diseases. 3 of those diseases were transmitted through respiratory droplets, and then 4 of them were transmitted through contact. So she doesn't know specifically which disease it is, but she does know that it is a disease. As far as whether they will die after a certain period of time, she was not able to determine that. Any other questions on the diseases?
I just thought after they developed the pustules that had narrowed it down, but okay.
Not to the specific illness. So the description that you were given about the body lying on the ground, that's how you were able to determine that it was one of the 7. If you remember, you did not want to approach and examine it for a risk of infecting yourself as well. So you're just going based off like their description of the illness. Okay, is there anything else anybody wanted to add or any questions before we jump into things?
I just wanted to add a minor thing on a similar subject that when Rasmus was investigating the body, he noticed that someone or a group of someone's had like gone through the guy's possessions and had taken them. So I will just point out that it is possible, probably unlikely, but we don't know for sure that the guy may have been killed by, not necessarily by the disease. He may have been killed by like bandits or highwaymen or something and just couldn't defend himself because he was sick. We don't know the specifics. We don't know that for sure that he was killed by the disease, but it seems kind of likely. But it's something to keep in mind that they may have more time than the worst case scenario. We'll just have to keep an eye on them.
Sure, yes, good addition there. Go ahead and you said you already have inspiration for your character, so Spectre, feel free to award inspiration to anybody else who doesn't have it.
I will award it to whoever says they want it first.
I think I have it, Brian has it, Libby has it, you have it. So Bill, Noah, do you guys have it?
Yeah, I don't have it. I'll take it for sure.
Okay,
I'll take it.
so,
Were you guys able to hear him that time?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
so
why I didn't say anything. I didn't think it was fair for them not to be able to talk.
So inspiration to Hugo on that. And I'll just add my own fun little side note to think about here. So based on what Jordan was just mentioning about the body and what might have occurred here, also keep in mind that if this person did die of the disease and then someone came and looted their pockets shortly thereafter, who knows if that person maybe was exposed to the illness and where have they gone. So yeah, many things to think about there. And on that fun note, let's go ahead and jump into the session proper. So I'll pull you guys over to the main map so we can show where you're at, as you guys have now reconnected with the driver. If you remember, you guys have made your way back to the location where the driver was with the wagon and the horses, placed in a very secure location. Done very well, and the driver explained to you that he had been hearing some strange voices over the days. It sounded like a very enchanting singing, and someone said something along the lines of, "You didn't go check it out, did you?" And he said, "No, I'm not dumb." But yes, you guys did rejoin with him, and so you have since left that area and are traveling with carriage, or wagon, and horses.
Yeah, I think we were already traveling when we fell across the dead guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's been
we
several days.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the only reason I was mentioning this is I didn't hear anybody say anything about the driver or whatnot. So just wanted to add that piece and the voices he had heard.
Yeah, and don't pass up a chance to say, don't be stupid and run after strange ghosts or voices in the night. Let's make sure.
We're not gonna let you forget, Gail.
Okay.
So are we? So I guess Rasmus and I are behind the wagon, social distancing and walking.
Yeah, so my understanding is you guys didn't develop actual detectable symptoms until a day after you guys had been exposed. So from what the team had decided is they didn't want you right on top of them for fear of them catching the illness as well. So yes, the two of you are behind, sort of following, I would imagine, 40 feet back or something like that. And it was during that next day when you woke up and keeping your distance that the other team members started spotting these boils and pustules growing on each of your faces and other exposed skin.
Hey Rasmus, how you feeling? You feeling okay? You look like me.
I probably feel like you. I mean, it's not great.
Well, I have on my pouch, and Adam, I'll pick the healing potion I got from Didris' tomb. I have it on my character sheet as healing potion 17. You told me to mark it as.
Yes.
So I found this in the tomb, and maybe I can taste it and get a better idea if it may be able to help one of us.
Yeah. Well, just drink it. I
Well-
mean,
Well, I will take taste first, and then because what if it's like that sneaky fruit that Hugo wanted me to eat? It could be bad.
well, yeah, but I don't think you could just have a swig, and understand what it does. I mean, do you have a background in like alchemy or whatever?
Well, I have actually proficiency in a medicine. Surprisingly, you should probably be shocked to hear that. So, Adam,
No.
do we rule that as like if you taste something and you kind of have an idea what its properties are?
I mean, you can certainly try. Obviously, if there's some kind of effect that would occur to it, tasting it to try to identify it may work. It may not. It may use up some of the parts of the potion. So it's not just like there is always risk involved when you try something like this.
So you think I should just chug it? It's got to be good.
No.
It's red color.
No, I was sarcastic. But, I mean, look, you've got history with medicine. Is there any potion that removes, what did Harmony call it? It's like a disease, right?
Yes, it's on the DMG page 247. It's called the Potion of Cure Disease.
Curious, I didn't read that book. I didn't read any books. We fought.
I can
But we did.
probably heal one of you, but I have to touch you. So then I'd have to heal myself, and then we can't get into any fights with any water fountains in the middle of a zombie-ridden city.
We could lay on our bellies with our faces far away from you. Could touch our pinky toes, and that might work. And cover your face.
Hey, why are you guys shouting to each other?
Because we're 40 feet away from the person from Harmony.
I think you're gonna need to have to cure them, not just heal them.
Harmony, how much magic do you have left?
2 spell slots.
For lesser restoration, or
Above lesser restoration, so
oh,
we can restore them, but I'm a little nervous about touching them.
well, we got it by not touching that person. So we just need to make sure our faces are away from you, and then
Yeah, maybe try covering your mouths while I approach.
you want to come. So I will lay on my belly and stick my pinky toe out towards you to touch my foots. Cover my face like this, so that I don't sneeze on you or even look at you.
I don't want any of those pustules bursting in my direction.
Yeah, that's what you gotta worry about. Here, I'll just back up a little here.
Alright,
We
should
pull
I
over
give it a
and
go?
stop, by the way, if they're gonna do this.
We're just gonna do this on the
Gonna leave
fly.
them.
So we're obviously theater of the mind here. So I'm imagining most of the team still on the cart, and then away from the cart we have Gale with Harmony approaching him, and then we have Rasmus even further back behind Gale.
I wouldn't say behind. I'm like east or west off to the side, if that makes sense.
Okay, sure.
So I will literally
Yeah.
get on the ground so that I don't if I do any spewing, it's not in the air with the wind. So I
Oh,
will be
wait,
slow as
Gil,
possible.
here, before I go, why don't you put this mask, this cultist mask on, and it should cover most of the pustule, what did you call them?
Yes, I will definitely cover my face with everything that I can possibly do, and I think I actually do have a cultist mask on. So yeah, I'll put my mask on, Adam. I'll cover my face with my elbow, right? You're supposed to sneeze in your elbow, and then face down and see if she just touches my foot. Might be safest. And then she covers her face.
Harmony licks her finger and holds it up to determine what direction the wind is blowing, and then goes upwind of him.
Okay, sure.
All right, I'm gonna approach. I guess Armini will cover her mouth too, just to be safe.
Okay.
Put your mask. Put your mask on too, Harmony. Everybody wear mask.
Got it. She uses a piece of fabric. All right, ready?
Just don't tickle me, because I might laugh and make spores.
Okay, that was supposed to be a level 4. There we go.
Yep, it may not have prompted you since that doesn't have any special effect, but just reduce your... So you're using a level 4 spell slot to cast this?
Yep.
Okay, so use level 4 spell slot. Just go ahead and deduct that on your sheet. Okay, so what I would say, both as you're watching here, Armini, and Gale, sort of how you're feeling. So with the previous medicine check that you had made, Armini, trying to figure this all out, you realize that this spell has cured the disease, but not the symptoms. So the illness is not going to get any worse at this point, and now it's just a matter of time before these symptoms fully go away. As far as exactly how long that's going to be, so keep in mind the blisters, the pustules, they are not like increasing in size any longer. They are not getting worse, but it's going to take some time for, again, this to get over. So with that in mind, Gale, go ahead and give me a blind check. This is going to be essentially a Constitution saving throw, but blind. Okay, got it. So, yeah, so you feel, I would say, slightly better, Gale. You realize that you're not even sure what this disease has done to you overall. You realize that it's not going to get any worse, but whatever effect is already on you is still there, and it's going to, again, take some time before it fades away.
So, Armini, am I still contagious, or am I just ugly for the rest of my life?
Might be too soon to tell.
Okay, all right.
And I'm not gonna come over there and find out.
Well, I'm going to scurry on my belly to get away from you and wave at you from very far away and say thank you.
Rasmus, you want to try this treatment?
What? Did you hear that bird? I was distracted. Yeah. You feel better, Gale?
Well, yes, but I still have these zits.
Pretty gross.
Health potion now.
That just
try.
means you're becoming a man.
That's a good one.
Well,
So I'll do the same thing that Gale did, and I'll just put my hoof up in the air.
Okay,
All right.
so you're lying on your belly and repeating the same kind of deal.
We repeat the process.
Okay, you cast another lesser restoration spell. Very similarly, you realize that this has cured the disease, not going to get any worse. Rasmus, blind check, please, for Constitution saving throw.
Sure, I'm gonna just throw my inspiration on it at him.
Okay.
Because I don't want to fail it.
Okay, yeah, so I will say when this magic runs through you, Rasmus, you notice a clear reduction in the size of the pustules that have broke out sort of on your face and on your hands. They actually shrink to about 50% of the size that they were before. This seems to be a much more rapid change than what you saw in Gale.
Haha. That was good, Harmony. I feel good. But maybe keep your distance still. They're still there, but I feel good. We'll travel back here for a little bit. At least maybe until we get to Subar.
Yeah, I run away from them just to be safe.
Okay.
Gale, you can get up. You're in the dirt.
And I imagine I still have the statue, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
I
I think
believe the statue was on the wagon, or did you take it off the wagon?
No, I put it on the wagon. I tied it because he was being weird about it.
I thought Gale said he specifically took it. but
Yeah, I
misremembered.
did.
Yeah, I think he wanted the tears to fall on him to heal him or something like
Yeah,
that.
Gale's thinking that the magical tears from the statue will heal him.
Okay,
That's
fair enough.
stupid. That's at least what Rasmus says. He's like, why are you carrying that thing? You're sweating.
It's important to us. We restore lives to you mostly.
Alright, well, look, I'll just get the bottom side of it, and we'll carry it together. Because you don't look as good as I do, and you need to not be so exhausted.
It's pretty funny. I was gonna. We should go to like the chat images and a satyr and an elf carrying a statue in the middle of a road and see what kind of picture the chat AI is gonna give us.
We give a thumbs up when we're ready.
We're ready. Yeah, Bill, you could type that in. That'd be great.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys want to just push forward and continue on your travels.
Yep, but Hugo is definitely staying far away from the sick people.
Okay, so safe to say our two sick people are still going to be about 40 feet behind the wagon and just walking, following along?
Yes. Or
Yeah.
40 sounds fine.
Okay, so you guys continue on your travels then. So as a rough estimate, you have about 4 days to get to the Boroskir Bridge, and that is where you guys are headed, because you are going to get there, stop, and then make your way to Subar to try to find the statue's mother. So as we are going in order here, we did Hugo, we did Harmony, we are on Kurtu now. Kurtu, roll me a D100, please.
Let's go, Kurt, too.
Okay, so as you guys are making your way along this path, you travel for, say, 3, 4, 5 hours, making your way alongside the river. You notice that there is a little bit of tree growth, which would be to your sort of west and northwest and southwest areas. You can see they're not very thick. It's not like a forest or anything like that. Just some copses of trees here, 10, 20 trees together. Then there's the odd tree here or there. As you are moving in this direction, Kurtu, since you're the one that rolled, you notice wedged between two of the branches of one of these thin trees, there is a scroll case.
Holy schmanoli, let's go ahead and stop.
How far is the tree from the side of the road?
About 20 feet.
Or is it on the same side of the river as us?
It
or
is.
is it? We're talking about. Okay.
Adam, I'm going to go ahead and tell the other folks what I see, but I'd like to make an active perception check to look around the area to see if I see any signs of anybody or any tracks.
Sure, yeah, give me a blind check. You look carefully near the tree, you look on the ground for any signs of tracks. You don't spot anything, however, you do catch a whiff of burn. Burn, like a campfire that's been burning and then put out, that sort of charcoal kind of smell. It seems to be on the air.
All right, I think there's been somebody here recently, and maybe they left their scroll case. Maybe one of the zombie people that we've got following our cart can go ahead and go check it out.
Hey, I don't want them getting any of that pus on it.
Oh, that's a good.
Could be
That's
something
that's
valuable
good.
in there.
Oh, I tell you what I could do.
Adam, I'm going to go ahead and just use Mage Hand.
To pull the scroll case forward?
Yep.
Okay, sure, yeah. So you use Mage Hand, and your magical spectral hand floats over there and just kind of wiggles the scroll case. It comes free pretty easily. and then it floats it back over to you. Yeah, you can see it is a small, narrow scroll case, maybe a foot long.
Can we see if there's any like toxic pus on it in case this was stolen from the other guy?
On a quick glance, you don't see anything like that.
Yeah.
Hugo, you read a lot of magic, right? Would you like to have the scroll case?
Yeah, sure. I'll open it up.
I'll go ahead and I'll use, my Green Lantern ring there to go ahead and put the Mage Hand scroll case over to Hugo.
Okay, it floats in your direction, Hugo.
Hugo will intercept it with his own invisible mage hand, and before it gets, all the way to him, like 5-10 feet away, he'll try to put it on the ground and open it with a mage hand.
Okay, yeah, so you pop open the top of the scroll case, and yes, on a quick glance at a distance, it looks to contain a rolled up piece of parchment.
It's got a scroll in there. I'm going to read it. So I guess he'll have the mage hand pull the scroll out and bring it over and sort of unfold it in front of his face.
Okay, so yes, as the mage hand pulls it out, you realize this piece of parchment looks less quality than what you've seen other scrolls. Most scrolls require really high quality parchment and high quality inks. This looks to be more of like your typical jot like a note down kind of paper. So as you pull it out and sort of unfurl it, it's actually much smaller than a typical scroll as well. And you can see that there is some common writing on it, just in the common tongue, as opposed to any kind of arcane symbols. You see that it appears to be some kind of village's charter of rights and freedoms.
This isn't any sort of magic. This is boring bureaucratic stuff.
Well, it was important to somebody, and I wonder if maybe that campground I smell, maybe some people were in there.
Well, if they are, you can leave it for them to find. They put it there, or maybe they dropped it or something. They'll come back looking for it if it's that important to them.
Can I identify the name of the village?
You certainly can. Yes, roll me a d10, please. The name of the village is Asbrook, and anybody who is proficient in history, you can make a check here to see if you are familiar with this village. Okay, yeah. Hugo, this information, right when you read the name, it's almost as though you're like, oh yeah, maybe you just recently read about Asbrook, perhaps, or heard somebody talking about this. But it is a fairly large village, approximately 1,000 population. It's mostly human, but some other races as well. It is known for having this really large stone tower in the center of the village. And you are familiar with the leadership there, or at least by name. It is a female elf named Berga. And there is supposedly in this tower what is known as the Monastery of the Sublime Lords. And it is a common destination for religious pilgrims.
Cool. Oh, sorry. What was the name of the Divine Lord thing again?
The Monastery of the Sublime Lords.
Fascinating. Is it close by, Hugo?
You know that it is not close by.
Nah, this is far away. But yeah, but it's a pretty big village, you know. That's why they needed to write this stuff down, probably. Does it seem like anything that would be important or necessary to the village? Like, would they be happy to get this thing back, or is it just sort of another piece of paper, sort of just writing down the rule?
No, you assume this is something that would typically be in like a bureaucratic office, so the mayor's office would probably have this, and it would be placed at somewhere of prominence, and it would be sort of that thing where when local dignitaries or other people visit, it would be on the sort of, tour. This would be a common thing, like, hey, let's, tell you about our village. Let's take you over to the building. We're going to show you this charter that, shows that we have the authority to be here and the history of so yeah, you assume it's a very important document.
Okay. So yeah, I guess he'll just sort of roll it up, put it back in the case, and then put it in his bag, and just sort of taps it and is like, well, if we ever are in the neighborhood, we might get a little bit of gratitude for this.
But why is it sitting on Why is it sitting on this side of the road if it's so important?
I bet they had to flee, and maybe they got attacked by the pus like you, and or dragons or something, and they had to rescue this parchment, and we'll get paid lots of gold for this later.
What?
I don't know.
We can only hope.
Makes sense to me. I hate that he
Yeah.
makes sense to me.
It's either that or someone tried to steal it or something.
Either way, we have it now, so if anyone comes looking for it,
They'll know that we stole it from
we
the
can get a reward
village.
for returning it graciously
Oh,
if
okay.
they come looking for it. Otherwise, I think we stay our course. You guys already want to deviate from the path to help this
Just
fucking
beware.
angel.
Just beware of that. With the bandits might be around.
Yeah, that's fine. Just sneeze on them.
Okay, that's true.
Adam, is there any sort of like tracks or anything like that around the tree that it's in?
Blind check, please. Yes, you can make out some foot tracks here. It looks like a typical human-sized boot-wearing individual. You see that the tracks seem to follow the same direction that you are currently traveling, which is sort of going in a southwesterly direction. But you can see there's kind of a bend here that's going to turn. So think of yourself like almost 30 feet away from like a hill kind of thing. Not a massive hill, a small hill, but it's starting to bend around that hill.
Okay. So Hugo will sort of point those out, and you'll be like, they're going the same way as us, whoever put it up there. So maybe we'll run into them.
How convenient.
Okay, so I'm assuming you guys just continue on your way then?
Rasmus, do you have any more tissues? My nose is red.
I told you I don't use tissues, I just smoke out of my pipe. You refuse to smoke out of my pipe, just hit it.
Alright. We keep going at it.
Like a PSA to the children watching to not accept drugs from strangers.
Especially
D&D is 13 and up.
Alright, as you guys continue on your path here with the driver moving the wagon along, you travel another 40 feet or so as that hill does indeed turn here, or the path, I should say, turns nearby the hill. And as you turn the corner here, that odor that you were detecting, Kurtu, is much stronger. And sure enough, as you turn, you notice the remains of a huge bonfire. It looks like a blackened mass of char the size of a small hill.
I think I found their camp. I don't know.
That's probably where they burned all the poisoned bodies.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Don't throw us in there. We're fine. Don't even think about the Gortu. We're fine. We feel much better.
Now, if I wanted to burn you, I would have done so already. You're still my friends.
Or two. I remember that you did burn me at one time.
Nope,
when I
you
was
were
dead.
unconscious at the time and it never happened.
So what was the weather like, and what's like the visibility here? Because like if this was a huge bonfire, like I feel like we might have been able to see smoke in the distance as we were traveling. Maybe is that a thing that happened?
You have not seen smoke, no. As far as the weather right now, it's pretty clear. You're traveling, it's say early afternoon at this point in time. Obviously the river's on one side of you, and then there's this massive moor on the other side. So yeah, you're just kind of traveling in a little bit of a very minor valley, you might think of it as. So the visibility to the fire obviously would have been blocked by sort of the higher elevation of the moor, compared to the river.
Okay, so we don't have enough information to conclude that this bonfire happened.
I would say without getting closer investigating it, you're not sure how long ago this bonfire was, actually lit and burning. If it was 2 weeks ago, then yeah, it's going to be a completely different story than if it was, say, yesterday.
Okay, is it in our way? Is there an obvious way we can go around it, or?
Yeah, no, you can certainly go around it if you wish. Yeah, so think of it as more up on the hill, where there's this massive blackened char. So you can just essentially go right around it if you wish.
Is it a survival check to investigate the bonfire?
Well, I won't answer that question, but I will say if you wish to get off of the wagon and go to this big massive chart and check it out, I'll definitely give you a check.
How far out of my way is it?
30 feet. You basically just get off the cart and then climb up this little bit of an embankment of the hill.
Do you want us to go?
I want to make sure it's not a dragon.
Okay.
It is.
I'm glad I'm back here.
Good luck, Harmony.
But I just want to investigate the edges of it. I don't want to
step into it. Okay. All right. So you approach climbing up this little bit of a hill after you disembark from the wagon. You kind of look on the outskirts of it, and go ahead and throw me a blind check here, Harmony. Something definitely seems off about this, but you're not sure what it is. You can see a lot of burnt material here. You don't see anything at first that sticks out to you as being, something you can say oh, this was a house or this was just a bunch of logs. It's really hard to make it out based on the state of all of what is remaining here, this char. But what you do notice is there are some various tools and weapons that you can spot in the middle of all this stuff. You spot some daggers, more and more of them. Eventually you notice a hand axe, you notice several pitons, and you even see a handsaw, and then finally a carpenter's hammer.
I knew it. Dragons. I conveyed to the rest of the group what I discerned.
Okay, so you make your way down the hill a little bit and fill the team in.
Okay. She didn't see a foundation or anything. She didn't notice that it was a building or anything.
She did not.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to make of that either. My first thought when you describe all those tools in there is it's some kind of outpost or barracks or something that burned down either by accident or intentionally. We're not sure. But I mean, it could be anything. I don't see a reason to linger here. Whatever happened already happened. If there are any survivors, they're long gone by now.
Okay, sounds like Spectre's voting for continue on. Any other thoughts?
Just hit my pipe. Damn it.
Okay, fine. Give me a pipe. What are they talking about up there? Let's keep going. My gosh.
I don't know. We're sick. We just wait back here.
Well, if they asked me for a vote, I would say we keep going.
That would be my vote too, but I don't think it matters.
Okay, with no other obvious plans put forth, after a few minutes of just sort of looking and maybe pondering what to do, eventually the team decides to continue moving forth. So you guys leave this area, traveling another 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so, putting that past you. That scent of char fades with the distance between you. And the next bit of travel here, the remainder of the 4-day travels, goes by uneventfully so. So 4 days have essentially passed at this point. If there was something you'd like to do during those 4 days, anything that recharges for you, anything like that, feel free to update your character sheet as appropriate.
So before we fast travel directly into the bridge, there's two things we have to discuss. Number one, how are our sick people looking? Have their boils receded after 4 days?
After 4 days, Rasmus looks completely fine. Gale still looks a little bit under the weather.
All right. So we probably don't want to drag sick people into the city if we can avoid it. It'll cause a panic.
I'm not sick no more.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about Gale, but thank you for your...
You said plural. Your
What?
grammar's off.
Anyway, so we need a plan for him. We can hide him on top of the cart, I guess, or he can... I don't want to leave him outside by himself, but one way or another we need to get in this town. Other problem, I point to Verum. I'm not sure if vigilante justice is a thing around here. If we drag this guy in, tied up, bound, and gagged, we don't know how the people are going to react. If there are any authorities nearby, they may not take kindly to our citizen's arrest here. So we need a plan for what to do with him as well.
Now, is this a city or is it just a bridge? I forgot because
It's like I think Adam described it as a tent city. So
Yes.
there's a presence here. There could be some kind of military presence to like keep order or something, but I don't remember if we received any information to that effect.
Well, why don't we keep Verum inside of Garage? I will stay with Garage with the driver, and you guys see what the scuttlebutt, as Leroy would say, find the scuttlebutt of the area.
Yeah, but we don't want you getting Verum sick, so maybe you keep your mask on and wear the blanket. Wrap up with the sick blanket.
And I put hood over my head, so if there's any zits they're showing, I will not be embarrassed.
Okay.
Well, a few of the rest of us can walk ahead, see if there's like a gate or something, see if there's like customs or baggage claim or anything like that. And we can figure it out from there if we really want to take this carefully, or we can just walk up and see what happens. Why not? Who cares?
Well, I mean, do we think this place is full of criminals and things like that? Because if it is, then maybe we should just go right through.
Why
It's
don't
a
we
very
just...
hurtful assumption that you would make a statement like that about a tent city. I'm sure there's plenty of upstanding poor people down there.
I asked what you thought of it, so if you're making that assumption, Spectre, then that is you thinking that.
To be fair,
Well,
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
we don't gotta say it, but
Yeah, so what time of day is it? I can't tell because I have zits on my face.
So the couple things that you wanted to take care of before you got to Boriskai Bridge, we can assume you guys have been chatting with those. If you've agreed on how you're approaching, then I will explain exactly when you roll up to the civilization point here at Boriskai Bridge.
What time of day is it?
The two questions that you guys discussed, is that how you're rolling up going to depend on the time of day?
Well, at night, yeah. Otherwise, we just turn left and go to Subar if it's early in the morning.
I think we want a long rest here. Is the plan?
Yeah.
Every
There should be an inn here, right?
That's if we don't. Okay, all right. Then
We
yeah,
were
go
told
ahead,
there was
Adam.
an inn. I remember that, but
I don't remember that, so that's why I was just like, let's just keep going. If it's a tent city, I don't know if it'd be comfy enough. It wouldn't be safe.
Tired of
enough
these
to have a
rations.
to have a long rest. Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like as far as the issues here, are you guys putting Gale on top of the cart? Gale, are you agreeing with that? And you're basically just trying to hide out on the cart so nobody sees your pustules?
Yeah, I'll do the vacation thing with the dead grandma on top of the car.
Oh, just lay under the blanket.
yeah, we got a ton of shit up there. I'm sure he can find a spot where he's not going to be.
There was literally a guy smuggled on top of that thing for like 3
We didn't
days.
notice for like half a week.
Oh, it smells like vanilla. Okay, yes, I'm on top, Adam.
Okay, and then no other special precautions you guys are taking before you get there?
Can we at least get in sight range? Because I'm not sure. Like, we might be able to spot like guards or something.
Sure, yeah. So
something.
I just mean before you get into the vicinity. So I just want to, because what I'm trying to avoid happen is I say, okay, you see this, oh, well, you know what we would have done, right? So is there anything else you guys want to do prep-wise before I describe what it is that you see?
I will just say out of character that I don't want to have Verum like obviously visible, like bound and gagged and stuff, because like I described earlier. I'm not sure what kind of law enforcement or justice is around this area. So we could run into a situation where we're going to have some explaining to do if like they do like an inspection of our cart and say like, what the fuck is this? Like human dwarf trafficking or something. So I want to try to nip that in the bud if we
Yeah,
can.
we'll hide him in the card as well.
So inside or on the top?
Varum's inside, and I'm gonna be inside with Varum,
Okay.
right? Just like as a personal guard. I don't know about everybody else if they're walking out front, but I'm gonna just be right with him, and he will be gagged so he doesn't make any noise.
Okay, so I will assume that is the preparations you have taken then. So Gale is on the top of the cart, and Varum is on inside of the cart along with Rasmus, as the rest of you are sort of sitting with either with the driver or also on top of the cart as you guys make your way and get closer. So you actually end up arriving here after about 6 hours of travel on the 4th day. So it is a late afternoon by the time you roll up into this vicinity. Looking, you can spot this very large bridge that spans the river. The bridge itself is made of a black granite, and you can see a large statue at this side of the bridge that you're looking at. And you can see past the bridge, which is fairly long, maybe 150 feet or so. You can see that there is a what you would assume to be what was referred to as a tent city. You can see a lot of different tents. There are some what you would call semi-permanent buildings. So think of this as small homes that have awnings broke out from them and other things underneath those homes, but nothing that looks to be made of solid material like brick and mortar. Think of this all as tents with a lot of wicker and a lot of, maybe an easy setup kind of wood structure, but everything looks like it's designed to be able to be moved pretty quickly.
Okay. Do we see, like, from our distance, now that we can see, like, the bridge and the city and stuff, do we see, like, anyone who looks like a sentry or...
Not on this side of the bridge, nope.
Okay.
You definitely see activity on the other side of the bridge, which looks to be people moving back and forth and so forth. Again, I would say the impression you get is think of this as like a big market.
Hugo's gonna double secure his coin purse.
Okay.
Joke's on them, I'm broke anyway. I guess we get closer. Is everyone satisfied with how we're approaching this?
I slide the little window. How's it looking? We good?
Yeah, it's just a town, tent town.
Oh, look at Spectre making assumptions. And then I slide the window shut.
Where's the fountain?
In the next city over.
Oh, shoot. I thought we were there.
No, go back to doing what you're doing in the back of the cot, Omni. Smells weird back there, by the way.
Just playing with my herbalism kit.
All right, so safe to say you guys move forward across the bridge and into the tent city proper?
I think so.
Yep. I guess we're gonna look for the inn too, or someplace to long rest if possible.
Sure.
What?
Yep.
Adam, I got a question for you. Even though if we don't use an inn, I mean, we've got tents and things like that. If we camped out here, do we actually need to be in an inn?
So it doesn't necessarily have to be an inn, but it has to be an area that is completely 100% safe. And what that means is it does not require you guys in any way to be on guard, to be watching, or to be cautious of what is happening. So if you got to a location, maybe it was divinely protected and everything felt peaceful and serene inside, that would qualify. Your more typical setup is going to be something like an inn or a castle or a barracks, something that provides walls and security where you're not in charge of the security. Hopefully that makes sense.
A place of safety is what we're looking for.
Yep, enough.
That's a big no to you, Kirk, too.
So as you guys push across this large black granite bridge, passing by this large statue, you roll across this area. You can hear the sound of the river underneath you. It has a little bit of a calming effect, but that is quickly dispelled as you make your way on the other side of the bridge and hear this cacophony of chattering and many different languages, primarily common, but you're also hearing little bits of other languages, sometimes Dwarvish, sometimes some local regional dialects. Many of these don't really make any sense to you all. As you push in, you're in kind of the heart of all of this. There was no really good map, to be honest, to depict this, so I've got something for you guys just to give you an idea. But let me pull you there and then kind of explain. Okay, so typically I use more like a wallpaper kind of style just to give you an idea of a location. But as I said, I didn't find anything too good in this for this particular example. So think of this as kind of what you're looking at the moment. Things sort of set up all haphazardly. You can see there are some different paths that go through the different areas of the tents and so forth. The bridge would be to your west at this point. So after you've passed the bridge, traveled say another 40 feet or so, this is the area that you're in. The Borisky Bridge sort of encampment is much larger than this, so think of this as this demonstrative of the probably 10 to 20 size of what you're seeing here.
Got it.
Okay. Hugo looks around with a sort of smile on his face. He's like, oh yeah, this is a hustle and bustle place. We can make some money or buy some stuff here.
Adam,
I'm in the cart.
Adam, I want to look at some of the people and just kind of, do I see that they look more like Rasmus or do they look more like Gale?
Neither. Yeah, they look more like humans is the primary population here. So it's much more human-based. You can see that there is a lot of attire that you would recognize as being at least culturally associated with Kalimshan. So think of this as a tent city, maybe as far as real life example, maybe a little bit of sort of like an Arabian theme.
Sorry, I was kind of joking more in regards to, do they look like they're pussy or do they look like they've been cleaned up recently kind of thing.
My bad. So. Okay, no, you don't see any obvious signs of illness in the populace other than, random minor things.
Thanks.
Sure thing. Okay, so you guys mentioned you want to keep your eyes open for the inn, and so as you're making your way through this, a lot of people are moving alongside of you. There's not a whole lot of open space, as you can tell in this kind of a setup, so the driver's doing the best he can to navigate the cart and the horses as to where they can go. Eventually making your way through some of these more narrow paths, you pass by a large fire, and it looks like there are several people around this, maybe a dozen or so, that are tending the flames, chatting, drinking, eating, that sort of thing. Nobody really seems to pay you too much attention. You get the impression that travelers are very common in this area. But as you spend, after like 20 minutes or so, moving around, just kind of keeping your eyes open, you do notice a more permanent kind of building. Again, still made of wood, but this one actually looks like it has dug in wood to the ground. So it's not just like a fly-by-night kind of thing. And sure enough, you notice that there is this sign outside the front end that says the Raceway.
Does that name mean anything to us? Did Dara mention it or anything?
No.
Well, it's the most permanent thing we've seen so far, so... Hey, Kirchi, you want to go make some friends? Figure out what's going on there? No?
Adam, I have a small question.
Sure.
As far as copying spells into a spell book, do I need to have the ability to cast the spell to put it in the spell book?
If you do mean like on your spell list, yes. As a wizard, it has to appear on your spell list. Then you have the scroll. When you write it from the scroll into your book, the scroll is destroyed, and then it becomes a permanent part of your book.
More so like it's a higher level than Hugo has the ability to cast right now. He would have. So basically, I sort of want to just copy it in the book and not be able to cast it yet until I level up. But
Gotcha. Let me find the exact rules on that. I seem to recall there's like a chance for failure if it's a higher level than what you can cast.
That sounds right.
Okay. Yeah, and no rush on that or whatever. It's just if there is like a place to buy the paper and the special stuff I need to spend the money on in order to do that here, and it is able to copy it in there, he probably would try to keep an eye out for some sort of person selling that if that's here.
Sure, yeah. So this is a big marketplace, so you're quite confident you'll be able to find that. So we'll do this kind of in like high-level overview. So it sounds like Hugo has some specific things he would like to do. Is there any other particular actions other than, going into the inn, probably ordering some food, eating, getting accommodations, and planning to take a long rest and stay there? Is there anything else in specific anybody's wanting to do here at the tent city at Boriskir Bridge?
Yeah, I don't know about anybody else, but Rasmus has that bag of gems from Erethader's lair. And he's gonna dump out the gems on the floor of the carriage, because he's inside with Verum, and he's gonna see if there's any diamonds, because Armony said something about needing some diamonds. So before he tries to hawk any of the gems, he's gonna make sure there's no diamonds in there.
Harmony has a quarterstaff to sell and is looking for healing potions.
Okay, so I got those two. Anything else from anybody?
Well, I think we need food, right? Because we
Yeah.
are starving a little bit.
Horse feed as well.
But I'm not going to go shopping. I'm going to stay up here because I'm comfortable.
Kurtu's personal. He can do our personable. He can do our shopping for us. Isn't that right, Kurtu?
I could probably get us a good deal, too.
Okay, so hearing nothing else, let's go ahead and take those in order. So first, Hugo, as you spend a little bit of time away from the group and looking to track down these, parchments, vellums, inks, that sort of thing, you do eventually find somebody in this area that will sell that to you. However, you realize after inquiring about prices that prices in this area seem to be significantly higher than what you would expect in more of a sort of stable Waterdeep or Neverwinter or something like that. So in this area, generally, you're going to be paying at least 25% more for anything. So if there's like a spell that says you need these papers or whatever, you would be, again, spending 25% more in this location.
Okay. So he gets the guy the person that's trying to sell it, all his hopes up, and then when he tells him the price, he goes like, "Oh, I can't afford that," and he just walks away.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, and it seems like you notice that these people selling things don't really seem to worry. There's so much traffic here that you get the impression that the price, while high, is typical for this area. Okay, so the next thing was Harmony, you had mentioned that you were, I think I already forgot your thing. Were you looking to purchase something as well?
Yeah, how much are healing potions going for
Healing
at this
potions, that's
inflated cost?
Yes. So healing potions, you would know, typically go for like 50 gold. Here they're being sold for 70 gold.
Hey, Dylan, is that the correct markup for 25%?
Not on healing
Yes.
potions.
He said it.
He said 25%.
Just remember, we're going to be at another town, and when we get to, put the statue back to her mama statue.
How far
Well,
down
I
the
want
road?
to. I want to sell my quarterstaff at these exorbitant prices.
The one with the spider on it?
No, the one I was using before I happened upon the spider.
Oh, yes, that's right. Well, the one that, yeah, okay.
So you shop your quarterstaff around a bit, Armony, and eventually you find one old guy missing some teeth who says that he will give you a silver piece for it. Nobody else seems to be particularly interested in your quarterstaff.
Man, no one appreciates good equipment when they see it.
I would sell it to him.
I'll sell it to him.
Okay, he hands you the silver piece and takes your quarterstaff. Okay, now Rasmus, you mentioned the gems from Orothator's lair. Do you have any more information on those?
Yep, there is. Hang on, give me 1 second. Okay, so it was 20 precious stones, and I gave 3 of those stones, big red stones, to the devils that were in that snake lair, so we could pass and get information from them. So these are just the 17 that are left. So I didn't get any further information. I don't know if you need me to roll any kind of chart for the stones or something, but I was never asked to do that.
Yeah, just remind me, are these the stones that you found when you were digging through the ice layers? And you guys
Yeah,
were
like
different stones? Okay.
Yeah, I remember you made us roll like a certain dice to dictate how much stuff we found, and that was in the chunk of stuff that we found. Yep.
Got it. Okay, so that helps. So that lets me know what they are. Okay, so, and you poured those out on the carriage floor and just sort of looked through them to see if there was any diamonds. There are no diamonds.
Okay.
So they are precious stones. So yeah, if you're trying to sell them, you can certainly attempt that if you wish.
Yeah, I know we're kind of in a sketchy place, but I'll poke my head out after I put all the gems back or stones back in a bag, and I'll look at Spectre and say, "Hey, do we want to go sell these?"
I mean, how much money do we have on us right now? We're gonna need to spend something to resupply, get more food and water and stuff. But...
I mean, yeah, I got enough money to do that just by myself, but I'm just saying, Hugo looks kind of like he needs some kind of payment. You know what I mean?
I don't really care what he wants, but if you want to, for harmonious, keeping the party's harmony together, go for it. You're in charge of the purse, so, I mean, if you think you want to hook them.
If we're gonna go sell them, you're coming with me because you're the only other person here that will cut someone's throat. Right? Other than Gale, but he's sick.
I mean, yeah, I can do that, but we want someone watching the cart. I don't know where Harmony wandered off to, and I don't know what the fuck Kurtu's doing. Kurtu, stop chewing on that egg. We don't want anyone to sneak aboard again.
Yeah.
Well, Humor will wander back at this point. So he's just like, these prices are crazy here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great news. Hugo, here. Look, I'm gonna go sell some stones, get us some money for the way back. Do you mind keeping an eye on Verum?
Yeah, I'll stay by the cart. Where's the sick one?
He's underneath the leathers up top. You'll hear him every now and then.
Yeah, I'll stay within 30 feet of the cart and keep an eye on it then.
No, I'm gonna also give you this, and I'm gonna pull out that writ from Waterdeep. Look, I don't want to get stabbed here and lose this money, but this is a large sum of money we have for us back at Waterdeep. If you can just keep it here.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm the treasurer and all, and I don't want to lose
How
it
much
while I'm
is
trying to
it?
go. 13,200 gold pieces.
You just said that. So it's 13,000 gold pieces.
Yeah. Look, just stay in the cart with Verum. I'm gonna go sell some of these stones and make us some more money. We're gonna split it evenly, and obviously you've been a big help. So.
Oh, Well, I
Rasmus-
wasn't with you all when you got those stones. I don't need to have any of that. That's fine. I like to make my own way.
Yeah, well, you weren't here when we got that writ either. Do you not want to share in that beautiful bounty? Don't be so modest.
Erasmus
I
is
mean,
saying
if
is
it's
that he trusts you.
involving, he trusts me.
A little bit.
Well,
But just know that if you run
I
off
mean,
shooting
I
with it,
appreciate
will
that.
track
I
you
don't
down.
know if it's wise.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
very
I'll
good at
split
finding
the
people
rate
if
for
I
sure.
have to. So, don't do anything stupid. But we're on the same side here.
No, I never do. No, of course. Now, is the writ made out to you, or is it made out to? Do you? I've never asked. Does your group have a name?
I don't remember what we.
Revolving door.
I don't remember what we put down on the writ for names, but I believe we all
put
signed
all of
it.
our names. Yeah, we put
I
all
think
of our names on
I
it.
wrote it down. I have to look in my journal. I remember writing it down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of our names are on it. But either way, right? We'll use the money to buy good stuff when we get back.
All right. Well, what if I just, should I just scribble my name on there? Maybe put Harmony's name on there.
Well, we could just wait until we get to the bank back in
Yeah,
Waterdeep
the
and then
bank's
add
got a
it.
copy of it, so they've got theirs with our name on it, and this one here is a copy of it. So we probably have to add your
all
name in
right.
the bank.
But,
all right. Well, I'll hold on. I'll hold on to it for now. And I'll make sure nothing bad happens to it, or the cart, or the people on the cart.
Okay. Alright. And you found everything you need? We're not looking for anything you need that you couldn't find?
No, I just wanted to get, that scroll of teleportation circle. I was thinking of getting some paper to maybe copy it over into my book, but I think I got to study it some more and learn more about it before I can even start that. So, I'm probably not going to buy much. But yeah, I think maybe if someone wants to buy some more healing potions, that might be a good idea. But I have one, so I'm good.
Alright, well, Spectre and I are gonna go and try to make us some money real quick, so we'll be back.
And just so you know, Rasmus, I'm not really a negotiator, so don't ask me to haggle prices. I'm usually the one they call when negotiations fail. So
I didn't bring you for that part. I brought you in case someone tries to stab me and you can stab them back.
sure. Maybe we don't want to make a huge scene in the middle of civilization, but I can
It's not my
distract
plan.
someone on the down low.
Yeah.
Make it look like an accident. Like that.
That's why you're
That
coming.
teenager over there. He looks
No.
really steppable. What? Oh, I'm sorry.
Snap out of it.
Look, you wouldn't let me kill those devils. So
It wasn't me.
Don't stab anyone unless you have to. All right, we're still gonna try to sleep here.
Define have to is really important to me.
Like,
Go, Spectre, let's go. Hugo, she's fine. She's fine. Wait.
can I make an insight check to determine if she's gonna just stab someone willy-nilly?
So the skill check can't be used on players, but maybe Spectre
I'll allow
can. Okay, then yeah, sure, go ahead.
I mean, I would need to see it, but did he roll high or did he roll low?
That one actually didn't even come through to me, probably because you don't have a token on the map. So if you want to just do a public roll, so yeah, Spectre can see the roll in that.
You're not sure, but you get the impression that she's kind of a professional, so you probably don't think that she would do anything to stand out unless she absolutely had to, would be what I would guess.
Okay. Yeah, I just haven't been with you in a more populated place. You seem like a dangerous person. So, anyways, just use your head.
Well, you carry the bag, Spectre, because your hands are quicker and faster than mine. You'll be able to protect it, but I'll be able to talk our way into a good price, hopefully.
Sure. Do you want to bring all of them, or do you want to leave some of them here in case something bad happens. How many are we planning to sell?
We might as well sell as many as we can, right?
Well, these people are... The prices here are wonky. They might be trying to rip us off. We might be able to get a better price somewhere down the line. But
So
we
I'll
need-
turn around and I'll reach my hand into the window, Adam, of the carriage, and I'll drop like 5 or 6, and then take the rest of the bag and keep on moving
Gems?
into the carriage. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Hugo, keep those protected.
But if I remember correctly, Hugo's not inside the carriage, right? Because he said he didn't want to get in there because Gail's on top.
Yeah, I just say that as I walk past them and slap him on the shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep my eyes on.
Who
him.
is in the carriage?
I ain't getting in
Is it
that
just Verum?
sickness.
Just Verum right now. Okay, so
He's like...
Rasmus and Spectre, you depart from the carriage and start making your way through, looking for some kind of shopkeepers that would be able to sell you, hawkers, merchants, that kind of thing. Rasmus, I'm assuming you're trying to basically rely on your persuasion here to get your best deal.
Yeah, well, first I'm going to use my insight to see if I can zero in on the least sketchiest looking opportunity to sell them, and then I'll use my persuasion to see if I can get the best deal. If that's fair.
Sure, give me a blind check.
Let me just move my token.
Nobody really seems sketchy here, as best as you can tell. You get the impression that this is just, there's all different kinds of merchants here. They're everywhere. So the idea that, the prices are higher, you get the impression that you could find almost anything you want here as far, something within reasonability. But that's why the prices are higher. So if someone's looking to sell something, they know if they come here, they're going to be able to sell it. If somebody's looking to buy something, they know they're going to be able to find it, even if it is a little bit pricey. So it's not so much like a sketchy or a criminal element that you detect. Just that's how this city works based on
Gotcha.
supply and demand.
Unless it's a quarterstaff.
Well, you end up getting 50% on your quarterstaffs. That's pretty typical, right?
I'm still on the lookout for pickpockets, though. Maybe the merchants are fine, but I don't trust the people here.
Sure, yep. We will assume you're passively observing your surroundings.
So I'll see if I can see any merchants that's selling any kind of jewels or jewelry or anything like that, Adam.
You don't see anything that is like out and about, and you don't think that you would, any kind of valuable jewels, because obviously that'd be really easy to snatch. But yeah, you do notice several different, what you consider to be hawkers. Some of them, one of them I will say, is you kind of turn one of these corners between the sets of tents. You can see very cheap looking jewelry looking to be made of like glass or beads that is sort of hanging out front.
Okay. So I'll kind of nod at Spectre, and then I'll walk up to the vendor and I'll say, "Excuse me."
You see he lifts his head as he was looking down below behind this small set of baskets in front of him, and he looks up and he says, "Oh yes, what can I do for you?"
I see you have some of your costume show jewelry hanging here. Are you selling anything more expensive?
You see he smiles a bit and says, "Oh, you have a good eye for what it is that is hanging there. Yes, I have other things at disposal, but I don't necessarily put them out. What is it that you are in the market for?"
I have a spellcaster friend. I don't know, she said something about diamonds. You have any diamonds?
You notice he kind of leans back a little bit as he scans the surroundings quickly. I may be able to acquire such as these. Anything in particular? Size, clarity?
She didn't really specify, but I don't know. Do you want to maybe go inside? You keep looking around like you're not going to trust anybody to watch this.
No, I'm just concerned when somebody asks for something that expensive. Who else might be nearby?
I understand. Well, look, I'm willing to buy and trade because I have some stones as well that, let's just say, we liberated a long time ago.
Oh, well, set them here. Let me look. And you see he sets this wicker basket on top of the other little baskets that are actually closed. This one looks more like a tray, like a wicker tray, and he sets it on top of the basket, so it's got like an edge or a rim to it that's probably a good 4 inches. So he sort of sets it there and looks up at you expectantly.
I like tap Spectre on the side and say, "Hey, let me get that bag."
What bag? I'm kidding. I hand him the bag.
That's funny. And then I'll take the bag and I'll dump them into the basket like instructed.
Okay, you'll notice he nods and his hands move very quickly here as he is separating these precious stones into apparently different little piles, seemingly getting different sizes or colors kind of all grouped together. You see he kind of eyes them carefully, tests a couple of them, and like holds them in hand for like a weight test, pulls out this little magnifying glass, puts it up towards a couple of them, and seems to nod as though he's satisfied with this. I see, and you say you are looking to trade these?
Well, trade and sell in combination. Like I said, I'm looking for those diamonds. I don't really, like I said, know what she wants, but I'll take the biggest chunky one you got, and we'll just call that one good, I suppose.
Okay, the biggest one that I have. Well, I could... Okay, so I can make you, we'll call this an even trade. Your 11 stones for the largest diamond that I have.
What is the largest diamond that you have? Can we look at it first?
Spectre, I got this.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna turn and say, what is the largest stone that you have? Can we see it first?
Yes, but step back, please.
I'm sure.
Alright, you notice he moves down to the wicker basket below and kind of lifts the tray that is on top of the baskets up a bit. So with the rim, the stones kind of just slide naturally to one of the edges, but don't tip out. And you see he just kind of motions. His eyes are actually on you as his hand seems to be feeling around inside. And then you see he eventually pulls his hand back out, lowers that, and everything is as it was. And you see he takes this small bit of black cloth that's on the side, puts that in his hand, and then does like a switch between his two hands. And now you see he holds it out at a little bit of a distance, and you can see that there is this smallish diamond that is sitting on this black cloth. He said, "This is what I have for you that would be relatively equal to what you're offering."
Do we think he's telling the truth?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I don't know if either of us are like jewelry appraisers, but
no, we're not.
Yeah.
But like, does the diamond like look like a good quality, big, like
something that might be worth 300 gold pieces?
Do either of you have any skill that would knowledge of gems, or have either of you had those kind of things before?
I mean, I have jewelry from my homeland, but that just came as part of my background. Nah.
So without any kind of expertise, I would say neither of you really has much of an idea of what a 300 gold piece diamond looks like, right? So that's kind of difficult to ascertain.
Okay,
why don't we, Rasmus, why don't we find our friend who specifically asked for this, and we'll get her over here.
Hang on, I got an idea. How much would you charge for the diamond by itself?
Yeah, you see he looks and kind of moves a bit and says, probably close to 1,400 gold.
Can I take a look at him? Can I insight check him? Does he?
You can make an insight check to see if you read anything in his body language here.
Can I also? I mean, I'm proficient. Adam, if that helps.
Spectre, are you also proficient?
I will let you know that in a second when my token loads in.
Okay, yep, no worries. I'll say if you're both proficient, I'll just let one of you make the check at advantage.
I'm not.
Okay, so probably Rasmus should do the check then.
Yeah.
I would say you get the impression that he's estimating high based on this series of events. So because obviously you're asking these pointed questions, he's not dumb. He knows what you're trying to do, so he's estimating the cost of this higher than probably he would have said if you just walked up and said, "Can I buy that?"
Okay, perfect. So Rasmus relaxes his shoulders and puts his hand on Spectre's shoulder and looks at the guy and says, "Look, I understand it's a curious ask, but we're just moving through, maybe staying the night. I don't mean to put pressure on you or your establishment or make you feel uneasy. I think you and I both know that price is not accurate for that size of diamond. So how about this? I'll trade you half of the stones I have for the diamond, and then I'll sell you the rest for a reasonable price."
You see he kind of chuckles from him and says, "I'm afraid you are not familiar with the prices of gems and what they go for here in this area. I would not be able to touch your offer."
I'll have you know that I appraised gems in El Terrell for at least 7 years.
You may, but this area is very different as how prices work.
Sure, I guess that's reasonable. Well,
Tell you what, Rasmus, our friend is the one who wants this. Why don't we ask her? She can make the judgment if she thinks it's worth it or not. How about that?
it's hyper-inflated anyways.
You're not gonna get a better deal. Probably. Not the two of us, but maybe she can bat her eyelashes or something.
Look, is there nothing you can do that's better than that? Because I understand you've got to make a living, but I know that price is inaccurate for that diamond.
Well, the agreement was your 11 gems for my stone. So I can tell you that this stone and those 11 gems, it should be a fair price. If you are willing to do the sell right now, I might be able to reduce it by 50 gold pieces. I don't have much room to wiggle, though.
What if we did 9 stones?
Go ahead and give me another blind check. You see he shakes his head. "I am afraid I cannot make that agreement, but I wish you the best of luck finding somebody else who will pay what it is that you're looking for." You see he kind of slides the tray that contains all of your stones a little bit closer to you. You get the impression he's kind of irritated now and ready for you to go.
I look at Spectre and I say, I doubt that Harmony has jewel crafting experience and can tell anything better than I can.
Whatever. They're your gems.
They're not my gems, they're our gems. And I'll take them and I'll put them back into the bag and I'll walk away.
Okay. Alright, so during this time, back at the cart, Gail's still hiding. Harmony already's gone out and did a bit of shopping, and Hugo is watching the cart just to make sure nothing odd happens. Kurtu, anything in particular you're doing?
Well, once I get a little bit of more gold coinage, I'll try to figure out what we can do as far as maybe buying some food to get to the next town.
Okay, fair enough. So it sounds
Approximately
like
how many days is that going to take us? Is that going to take us like a couple days, 2 or 3 days, or what would be the estimate?
That is a good question. I'll give you that answer here right after I measure.
It's like 64 miles, I think it was.
So it looks like just shy of 60 miles. So you're looking at, let's see, 2.5 days?
All right, okay. So basically, I'll be looking for food for our group for 3 days.
Okay, yeah, you have no problem finding. If you're looking for rations, similarly, you would find them for sale for an upcharge of 25%. If you're looking for food to eat today, you find that at a more reasonable price. So, like fresh food, think of it as basically being like a 15% upcharge rather than the 25% for rations.
Okay, how much would rations for our group cost for for everybody.
Okay, so basically 3 days times 6 people, 18
Seven.
people.
Yeah, it'd be
Forever.
seven people.
Oh
With
yeah,
Darren?
well, 8 people because of the Verum and the driver, and then the horses
Oh.
as well.
The
Yeah.
driver seems to take care of his own stuff, but yes, the horses, you should pay that. So I'm going to do some quick math here and say... with the upcharge, if you pay 10 gold pieces, that will cover all of you guys plus the horses for 3 days.
All right, I'll go ahead and keep that in mind, and we could do it tomorrow when we're leaving. I do have a platinum piece, so I can just do that.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
I didn't notice I had the platinum piece. I'm seeing 4 gold for like the longest time. I'm like,
Those
dang,
platinum,
I'm broke.
yeah, they're hidden with the extra money, you know. Okay, so it sounds like primarily you guys are waiting for everybody to get back, see how much money, you know, knowing that maybe these gems are going to be sold. So we will assume everybody has completed their purchasing and Rasmus and Spectre have returned. So you guys are basically all back out front of the cart. Except for Gale, who's still on top.
Hey, any luck out there? You guys
Rasmus
get some
pissed
good
him
stuff?
off. But we can probably find another buyer. This is a big tent. This is a big city. Big tent city.
Why don't if you didn't get a great deal, just wait till you get to a real city.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean,
We
did have a-
I need some money now.
yeah, he did have a big chunky diamond, but we didn't really know if it was the size and shape and everything that you needed, Harmony.
Well, thanks for looking. That was thoughtful of you guys.
What
I
a
guess I'd have to
diamond!
eyeball it to really know.
Yeah, he
How
was
would
trying
I
to sell
know?
it.
Is that just like my previous experience, like learning that spell?
No, that's a great question. So if nobody in the team has any knowledge, the trick really here is that just because you pay 300 gold pieces for something doesn't mean it's a diamond worth 300 gold. So, you know, if someone was tricking you and they were like, oh, this diamond's worth 300 and it was actually only worth 20, then it would not work with the spell. So, using your skills is primarily how you make sure you get a diamond that's worth that, or asking a trusted friend or somebody who's knowledgeable in those things.
Interesting.
Would some kind of spellcaster have any kind of like
Yeah, I was wondering
ability
if you could just make an
appraise?
Arcana check.
Yeah. What kind of check would it be?
Yeah, I mean, again, I would go back to Jewelcraft. Like, so you're basically saying, I need a gem that's worth about this much. That sounds to me like right up the alley of jewel crafting, knowing how much it is. If you don't have that, nobody has that proficiency, maybe Arcana, like at disadvantage, maybe.
Does anybody have a race or a class that you can actually learn a new skill after a long rest?
Yeah, and that would actually be a tool. So, yeah, you could definitely check that. Obviously, again, another option would be hiring somebody that is knowledgeable. I mean, you definitely have some options, but right, knowing the exact value of an item is usually very tricky.
Finn could have done it.
R.I.P.
So I didn't make the deal because I didn't want to risk it. I mean, it's everybody's money.
Yeah.
And I'll
it's
gather
just,
the other gems too, Adam, and make sure everything's in one bag.
So you're opening the carriage door at this point and then scooping up the ones that you dropped in there?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a blind check as you do so. You notice Verum lying there, but his eyes are kind of open wide, and you can see sweat dripping down from his brow.
Okay, I'll take his gag out of his, or not, I take his gag and shove it deeper into his mouth. I was gonna say take it out, but that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to shove it deeper into his mouth, and then take his jaw and click it up to his, like, you know, and keep it shut, and I'll look at him and say, what are you up to?
So you made it harder for him to speak, and then you asked him what he's up to?
Yeah, but I don't want an answer. I just want to stare at him and kind of like try to gleam from his eyes.
Got it. It's a rhetorical question. Yeah, I would say you don't need to make a check for this. He certainly looks nervous, but he doesn't respond. Or you hear like muffle, but he can't really talk with the gag shoved even further in his mouth.
Shut the door, Spectre.
Am I in there with him?
Do you want to be?
If he pokes his head out and tells me to come in, is that what you're trying to get at, Dylan? You want me to come in and shut the door?
Either one. Make a decision.
I come in and shut the door.
Okay, so the two of you are now inside with Verum, who's bound and gagged.
Yeah, and I still, I'm gonna keep my hand as tight as I can on his throat, or on his jaw, and I'm gonna look at Spectre and say, he's up to something. You should check his hands or anything else.
Can I inspect? I will follow the instructions. I will check to see if he's like trying to get out of his bounds, or if he has anything on him that he shouldn't.
Okay, sure. So doing a quick like shakedown blind check.
I dragged my token on the. Oh, there it goes.
No, nothing that you can tell.
Well, he looks nervous. Maybe he can tell us. If you ungag him, we can tell him that if he tries to scream or scream for help or anything, I'll just stab him. Because just be smart, Verum. You're not getting out of this. So, I mean, you can tell us what's up. And
Did I collect all of the gems, Adam?
You
Can I
did.
see if they're all... Yeah?
Yep.
if you
So-
make trouble for us, I don't mind making a quick escape after we deal with you. So, if there's something we should know, Rasmus, do you want to let him share it?
I'll loose my grip, and then I'll loop my finger around his gag, and I'll look at him, and I'll be like, don't do nothing stupid. And I'll pull it out of his
I
mouth.
have the scimitar in my hand, ready to.
Okay, and then you're undoing the gag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He, as you start pulling off the gag, you see kind of like adjusts his jaw, obviously very tight of all this being tied up, and you see he looks at you very intently, and he says, "You're gonna want to let me go right now, and you're gonna want to put distance between me now.
Why?
Yeah.
There's no time to explain. Let's just say danger's coming for me."
Bullshit. Did you tell us what danger, or we'll deal with it eventually?
You won't be able to deal with it. It's more than you can handle, little girl.
Fuck off.
Alright. I'll put the gag back on him. Spectre, if he's telling the truth, then we should get him and the cart out of here. These people shouldn't die for whatever he just did.
What's going on in there?
Okay. Pop out with Spectre. I suppose, Verum's up to something. He said that we should run and get as far away from him as possible because it was dangerous and something was coming.
Dragon probably, right? Isn't he part of that whole crew?
There's always a dragon.
Hugo will look up at the sky and see if he sees any large shapes coming.
He does not.
I mean, I'm not in favor of letting him go just because he says we should.
We're not doing that. I just want to know. I just want someone to figure out what exactly he means. He wouldn't talk to us about specifics.
It's cut off one of his fingers.
That is not a bad idea.
He can't cast spells as well that way either. So start with his fingers, then maybe a tongue.
Well, then he can't tell us much.
He's been honest until now, so we shouldn't just assume he's lying, even though I don't want to let him go. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying.
Archie, you're
We
the most
don't know
persuasive
he's
of
been
us.
honest. We don't really know.
See, if
I
you-
didn't hear what you said, little girl. What'd you say?
You sleep with your throat exposed. very, very dangerous.
Wait,
But
everybody sleeps with their throat exposed. How do you not do that?
Not me. I pull the covers all the way up.
There you go.
That's ineffective. Look, Kertu brings up a great point. He hasn't lied to us yet.
But he's not being forthcoming with what he means.
No, he's not.
If he's correct, then we need to know what we're about to deal with.
Adam, are we like an out of the way place with this and everything?
No. There's not people right on top of you, but within 15 feet, people are walking by.
I think that maybe I should, with the driver and the cart and Verum and Gale, get outside of the city, at least for maybe an hour or so, because he seemed like it was coming at a very quick pace.
Are you sure we don't just want to interrogate him and try to get him to tell us specifically what's about to happen?
I'll interrogate him when I get outside of the city, but let's say he's telling the truth and something's coming fast. Do we want all these people to be caught up in it?
I don't care about these people. But
Yes, I get that, Spectre.
Me neither. They overcharge.
Yes, but these people shouldn't die because they charge high prices for quarterstaffs and gems. As if somebody else wants to be a part of the interrogation, fine, but the driver will take me, Gale, and Verum outside of the tent city, at least in the direction of Sulbar, right?
Alright. I think we should all go together. We'll bring them, 20 minutes away. Find a spot. And then whatever happens there, not here, but we're all together. So we can all defend each other if something bad does happen.
Okay. But if something bad does happen, we leave Verum's bitch ass and we run. Because we don't need him. We've extracted a lot of information. We don't die for something we don't need. Our mission was to get the White Dragon Mask. We know where it's at now.
Yeah, I agree. You don't have to tell me twice. I'm not dying for that little shit.
Alright, then load up. Let's go.
Alright, so just clarifying, remember you guys traveled about 6 hours this day before you arrived here at the tent camp just past Boroskier Bridge. You guys spent a little bit of time shopping, so altogether maybe an hour here in the little tent city. And then you haven't gone into the inn and actually slept overnight, but based on this new information, you guys are loading up and then traveling southeast, away from the Boroskier Bridge and on the route to Sulbar.
Yeah, maybe just like a half-hour cruise up the road or something
we
like
need to
that.
go that far, just until we're out of sight of the city, maybe. I don't want to have to turn around and make arrangements if this goes.
Are we going? Are we done already? What's happening with the carts moving?
Let's just get 10 minutes outside the
Don't
city.
get to sleep in a real bed.
No. So we leaving? You guys gonna fill in Gale?
Hang on,
Yeah,
look, if nothing's going on, then we just come back and go to sleep.
You gonna fill in Gale?
Yeah, you're on the top, so I imagine you heard all of that because we were right beside
I
it.
swing down and I open the door and I said, well, then stab the bastard in the throat right now.
You look so goofy with that blanket and that mask on.
All right, I draw my sword.
And we
put
take
it
him
on
out of
his
the
neck.
city first.
Oh, hold on.
I
Don't
draw my
kill him.
sword, I put on Verum's neck. Kill him right now.
No. We gotta get out of the city. We don't need to be the ones that kill him.
This is called
I don't
dead.
think we can murder someone right here. There's people walking right by us.
Well, we're inside the carriages.
Yeah, we're inside the carriage.
But
I can make it so very quietly he dies. I am a professional killer.
Yes, but you're swinging that sword around and we all know you have pustules all over your body, so be careful.
All right, Adam, I'm gonna slit his throat.
Wait,
So-
and I'll grab his wrist.
Alright, so as you try to slash his throat, there seems to be a disagreement among the party as Rasmus tries to stop you.
Just be patient. Go.
I look in everyone else's eyes. I don't see everyone else as convinced as Rasmus.
Take him out of the town.
We go just outside the city. We give him one last chance to talk. If he won't talk, we kill him.
There's nothing else he could tell us.
He can tell us what's coming.
Or it doesn't come at all because he's dead. Fine, I will go back upstairs and sneeze into my pillow.
We go just outside the town and see what's up.
Okay, so you guys load everything up and look backwards towards the tent city as the carriage is pulling out. And I really wish I had my sleeping arrangements and food and drink behind you. As you push out past the tent city boundaries and sort of in the southeast direction towards Subar.
Just like literally over a hill or something. So we can't see the town anymore and they can't see us. And
All right,
then-
Adam. So I'm looking for this a threat of some sort in the air that allegedly Verum wants us to be so afraid of.
Alright, and now that we're out of like screaming distance, we'll undo the gag and say, you have one last chance to tell us what's about to happen.
I told you everything you need to know. Get
No, you
away
didn't.
from me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you think you are in control here, you're not.
I cut his finger off.
Okay.
Well,
Is
hang on.
anybody stopping
While there's
Spectre as she
no-
tries to cut his finger off?
Can I
no, but I
non-lethally
definitely
cut
got
his
out
finger
of the
off?
cart. I'm not inside of the cart though, Adam. I just want to make that known. I stepped out.
Okay. So right now, is it simply Spectre inside with Verum?
I'm on
I think-
top. I would have killed him, but I'm on top.
Okay, so it sounds like just Spectre inside, the rest of you outside. So yeah, I would say no one's in there to stop you then, Spectre. So you cut his finger off. You can tell this obviously hurts him, obviously losing a finger, but you're somewhat surprised that he does not seem to be rattled by this in the slightest. He doesn't look like, based on his background or what he's been trained for, it doesn't look like pain is going to in any way motivate him to change what he's saying to you.
Is he transforming into something? Kill him! What if he turns into something?
Berto, get in here and try to persuade him, and if he isn't persuaded, I'm gonna kill him. Bill.
Mr. Dwarf Guy, if you just start being nice and listen to us, we won't have to kill you. And we could go back and get a nice room with some eggs and other food. Why don't you just be nice and listen to us?
I've already told your companions, if you stay with me, you're all dead, and so am I. Your best bet is to get away from here. But obviously the people you're traveling with are too fucking stupid to listen.
I know, but
So I jump
you know,
off. God, I want to push him to the side and just stab him, Adam. Can I just stab him in the fucking throat, please? Please.
Is anybody going to stop Gale as he tries to kill Verum quickly?
No.
I'm scanning the sky, so I'm just making sure. I'm looking around. I'm making sure that we're not about to, somebody's watching us.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hugo's moves 35 feet away from the car, so sort of humming to himself, so he doesn't have to hear the torture.
Okay. All right, so yeah, without anybody stopping, yeah, Gale, you're easily able to just kill him as he's, bound and prone and all that stuff. There's nothing he can do. So yeah, you stab him in the throat and he is slain.
Great. So then I stab him in the throat.
Gale
I
kills
put it,
him. The Kurtu's like, no, don't do it.
and then I see my sword. I grab him by the ankles. I drag him, head bouncing, boom, 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 off the back, and I kick his body to the side of the road. Now, can we move on, please? You're turning me back into a summer ladron with your foolishness.
We're gonna go back to town and we're gonna sleep.
Great. Let's go back to town. Turn around. Driver, turn around. Let's go.
Okay, and yes, that is what
Hey,
happens.
Before we leave him just on the side of the road, Hugo's gonna try to hide the body a little bit, just so we don't get any.
Yeah, I'll help Hugo with that. I'll grab some palm fronds.
I'm not gonna dig a grave or anything like that, but I'll put him under. Yeah, exactly, under some
Brush.
vegetation or something.
Okay, yeah, throw me a blind check just in case that becomes important later. I'll write that down, your result.
I assume we already emptied his pockets, right?
A long time ago, yes. You didn't find that he had anything on him. Okay, so you and Rasmus do the best you can, creating like a little bit of a screen here with natural foliage and so forth to hide or obscure the body for anybody passing by. And with that complete, maybe clean your hands off a bit and travel back into the tent city.
Well, I feel great. Let's take a rest. Now they have no reason to come after us.
Okay, yeah, so as you guys make it back to the tent city and head back towards that inn where you know it already exists and you wanted to get your rest in here, get some food and so forth, you guys pull up the cart to that side, perhaps having different thoughts wandering through your mind about what tomorrow will hold as you step on into the inn, and you are greeted with a friendly staff who is pretty quick to get you guys some food and some drinks. And this is the first real sort of live food that you guys have had in a while other than rations. Feels really good to be able to eat and just sort of kick back and enjoy yourself here for a moment before retiring for the night and then waking up early next morning. You will all benefit from a long rest here, and we will go ahead and take our 15-minute break as we are halfway through our session. We will pick up in 15 for the second part of the session.
I don't
Hey,
need
Adam.
annoying, but
Nice.
is there any chance we leveled up in the last 9 sessions that we've been without a long rest?
You have not, no.
Hey, Adam,
Okay.
how many experience points do I get for killing Verum? He's got to be pretty
0.
high. Yeah.
No,
Oh.
no threat, no EXP. All right, see everybody in 15.
See ya.
All right.
Alrighty, folks.
I just
we
keep
are-
thinking about. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Adam.
I was going to say, we are back. So, yeah, I'll let you guys pick up here in just a moment. So, yeah, team, you're in Boriskir Bridge here. You guys have spent the night, got some food. You guys have not picked up new rations yet, but you already got a price quote on that if you'd like to. But, yeah, you guys are fully refreshed, getting your first long rest in quite some time.
At least we don't have to be so secretive on the ride back to Waterdeep, yeah?
Me, it was
However-
annoying having tried to hide them everywhere we went. Plus, he was a bad guy. Don't look at me like that. He was a bad guy. He was actually threatened us. So I just saved our lives. Don't look at me
No.
like that.
No one's looking at you anyways. We all agree with what you did. No one wanted to die
Yeah.
for him.
If that's what you felt you had to do, I guess it was okay.
When he said, "Get away from me or you'll die," so I killed him. Pretty easy decision, guys.
Yeah, we're away from him now.
Yeah, but when we get back to Waterdeep, we're not going to include the fact that we just killed him on the side of the road. Okay, we're going to say he died on the journey back. Okay, Gail, practice with me.
Heroic
He
sacrifice.
died on the journey back. How did he die? We ran into some trouble. That's it. Okay?
That's
all you
fine.
gotta say.
You do the talking with Dara anyway. I'm just the muscle-ish.
I have one question. How did he know something was coming for him?
He didn't. If you listen to what he was saying, get away from me. It's going to be bad for you. Get as far away from me. Then he was coughing in the last bit. Did you notice that? So that's what made him shut his throat. He was doing some type of transmutation magic, as you think that maybe you guys know about.
I
I
think
guess
it
ignoring
was a
Gale.
mistake leaving
Start ignoring
the
you.
stones. Those
I-
stones we left in the carriage, whatever. I think that's what caused it. He may
I
have
think-
done something.
I think all that's exciting, except that, did you guys try the eggs this morning? They were really good. They're a little old, but that's okay. And I'll pay for the rations. I'm not a whole bunch of rations, just like 3 days for all of us.
Thanks, leader. We can always count on you.
Yeah, and I'm broke after that, but you know, I mean, you can count on me this one time.
Hey,
I
Rasmus,
Oh
how many gems did you get? All your gems? You put gems on the ground, and then did you get them all back, or how many did you get back? Did he swallow
Mhm.
one?
No, Adam said I found them all that I had put in there.
Huh.
All right, since it sounds like you guys are pondering this over, I will allow you guys to give me blind checks to see if anything occurs to anybody maybe in the series of events that you just done.
Well, I'm kind of thinking before I make the check that he may have been like contacted magically or something, because they're like cultists and
Okay,
They
don't
probably
bother
fuck up.
rolling. Yes, you're pretty sure that is what has happened, Spectre.
thanks.
Yeah,
That was what I
that's-
was going to say, but that's okay. Yeah, he could have been reached by a member of the cult, letting him know that They were coming for his ass.
So they were
They were heroes.
scrying through him or something?
Could have been.
Could
A
have
lot of
easily been
things are
that.
possible with magic.
If you guys recall, when you made your way to the Tomb of Diderus, one of the effects of the tomb was that no divination magic worked inside of the tomb. So, for example, when they were trying to track things down, you'll recall Viren mentioned this, the tomb itself is basically a big blocker for any kind of divining magic, but once he was no longer in the tomb, then sure, he could be picked up by divination magic.
Well, what's good is that no one was inside of the carriage with him, so whoever was looking in on him probably didn't see the rest of us as we were out and about doing our things.
I'm just glad that he felt that he was our friend because he didn't want us to get hurt. That's nice of him.
I guess that's a good way of looking at it, but let's finish grabbing all of that horse feed, Kurtu. You said you knew that guy, and then we'll roll out.
Let's GTFO, as Leroy would say.
And then I stop and I put my hand on Hugo's shoulder and I was like, can I have the writ back?
Hey, don't touch me. Alright, here you go. And Hugo, like, moves away from him as he has been recently very sick. You can tell that Hugo is, like, more paranoid than most about this illness thing.
That's
Speaking
cool.
of, how's Gale looking? After a night's
Gale is
rest.
actually looking quite good at this point. The only remaining indicator that he was ever ill at all is just sort of these dark blemishes on his skin where the pustules used to be. But over this time and after this last long rest, they seem to have basically flattened out, and they're just discolored at this point.
Good work, Harmony.
It's
Give the character, Gale.
feels good to be not near death. We had a long journey ahead of us. Are we sure we want to take this statue?
Yes, that's precious to me. It's very important. Let's go. This is an important mission.
I'm sure
It's
we have
Gale's
time.
baby.
Okay.
You almost died in the quicksand for it, so I would think that you would want to see the fruition of the results of your efforts.
Not like
That was
this
hard
is
for
a
me to say.
move or anything, but
I was hoping maybe we just, break it open and see if something was inside, or hawk it here at this market. Talking statue probably goes for a good penny.
No. Yeah, you guys are fighting some powerful enemies, right? Seems like dragons and whatnot. So if we
Sure.
can get a good side of one of these deities or religious figures, that might be just the ally we need.
We need
That's
karma
been my
points.
Okay. That sounds like at least 3 or 4 of you who are just resound on doing this, so okay.
Good. So we get the food, the feed, and the water, and we leave. I'm sorry.
Sounds like a plan.
I woke up with like fiery blonde hair again and a fire in my eyes. So sorry. Summer's
Is
back.
any of you magic folk know how to send any kind of message to somebody? Could we tell Dara now that what we know?
Pigeons? I've heard pigeons work.
Well, I mean, you've got to think about it, right? I mean, it's going to take us, I don't know, 3-4 days to get down there, and then 3-4 days
Yeah,
to get back
AKA,
here.
I don't have that spell.
But maybe we could send something, right? Anybody have a courier or something like that? Anybody know anything like that?
Like a familiar?
I don't know.
Familiar need to be near you, I think. Let me look.
Yes, if you were trying to use Find Familiar to send your familiar like weeks away from you, that's not going to work.
I can have someone. I might be able to find someone who'd be willing to deliver a message for us.
Yeah, it seems like you can buy almost anything here, including probably a messenger.
It's probably someone less than.
But if we're trying to be sneaky, remember we don't want people to know who we are or whatever, then if we're asking someone that we don't know to deliver a message, just remember that's caution, you know?
My only worry is that it's going to take us another month to get back, so bringing this information to them, I mean,
I'm just
What is
bringing it up because on our
No,
way
I
out,
get
we
it,
were
I
just
get
wanted
it.
to be cautious. So
No, wait
No,
a
I-
minute. Didn't Hugo say he was trying to write something in his book? Whatever happened to that, Hugo? Did you have written book?
No, I need to study it longer. I haven't quite cracked it yet, and so it would be sort of useless for me to do it now.
Okay, all right. Well,
Maybe if we slay a couple more dragons and I learn some more stuff, I'll be able to do it.
all right. Well, then we go to Soul Bar.
Yeah, let's reunite this family.
Let's go.
Okay, so team, sounds like you're prepped and ready to go. Kurtu, you've deducted the gold for the rations and the horse feed that you agreed to purchase for the team. You guys all load up and start making your way on the 2.5 approximately day journey between the Borskier Bridge and Subar. As you guys are going over land, we are now on Gale's turn. Gale, roll me a D100, please.
Oh my goodness. It wasn't 100.
It's a lucky number, though.
Okay. As you guys are traveling in this area, you notice that while on the map, of course, this road looks like it's just a straight line, there are little areas that detour around natural landscapes, maybe copses of trees or hills, that sort of thing. It's as your path is diverting a little bit, when off in the distance, you are going to spot what looks to be a horse lying down on the ground. There seems to be somebody kneeling over this horse. From the current distance, you're probably about 60 feet away or so. This individual looks to be fairly large, so much bigger than a human, but kneeling over, so maybe like half that size approximately. But it seems as though they are very concerned with this horse. So as far as where you guys are on the cart right now, is it safe to assume most of you are sitting out on top of the cart?
Gale's in front with the driver, with the statue.
Okay.
Yeah, Rasmus is in his normal spot up on top of the cart.
Okay, so I'm going to assume, unless you say or type in chat that you're inside, I'm going to assume you're outside and you've seen everything I just described.
Fine.
Does it look like he's eating the horse, Adam?
You're 60 feet away. You do, I would say, based on your asking that specific question, you do notice that there is like blood stains nearby, but no, it doesn't look like he's actively eating the horse.
How far away did we get from town? Like, are we near where we disposed of Verum, or have we
no,
gotten?
you're a
Okay.
few hours past that.
Okay.
Well, I guess we just keep driving, and as we get closer, I'll hail out to him.
Okay, hearing no disagreements with that, I will assume that is exactly what you do. So you guys continue traveling down this road. As you're doing so on the path here between the Borskier Bridge and Subar, you do notice that just some local notes of like looking around. You can see that there are some trees that look like they've been chopped down fairly recently. These trees look like they're very large. You don't see the trees themselves. All you see is stumps left over. You also notice that there is a bit of like a rocky ridge here with some large roots growing out in different areas. As you get a bit closer at this point, you notice this shape sort of leaning over, raises its head, and you can see it is some type of bestial humanoid. As it raises its head and it looks up, it probably spots you first, I would say, Gale, and you see it slowly raises its hand in like a greeting gesture.
I will wave at him and then keep going.
Okay, you continue moving along, and you're basically having to skirt around the edge of him at this point, so as not to run him over or to interact with his horse. As you direct the driver to do just this, and the cart is kind of on the side at that point, this is when you'll notice that this large figure begins to move pretty quickly. So I'm going to take us over to this map and put us into initiative order. Okay, so obviously the large figure is this one here. He's the one that's sort of leaning over this horse that is alongside the ground at the moment. And let's go ahead and get you guys into initiative. Okay,
I'll get ready. There's a strange person here.
So what I'll say here is, Spectre, you're, again, riding on top of the cart. You notice this figure. You've seen this, as you guys are getting closer and approaching. Nothing seems, really off to you, but as you try to ride alongside him, this is when suddenly you notice he kind of moves, and I would say you can see it looks like he's looking to intercept you, perhaps.
Intercept, as in, does it look like he's like going for our horse? Like, now that he's turned around, can I see like bloodstains on his hands or his face or anything?
No.
Okay.
So when I say intercept, what I mean is he was just kind of lying there over the horse, and as you get alongside him, he suddenly moves quickly in your direction.
Okay, so I'm getting the impression that he's trying to stop us, not necessarily that he's attacking us. Is that a
You're
fair...
not able to deduce what exactly he's trying to do other than getting closer to you. So you win initiative. So essentially, as soon as you see him move, and he hasn't had a chance to really act yet, so
Sure.
It's your turn to decide what you do.
I guess I'll have my bow in my hand, but I'm not gonna like shoot him. I'll just like have it ready to shoot if he makes an aggressive move against us, and I'll just call out to him in, I guess, common, because I don't recognize this thing, so I don't think it speaks anything. It's like, hey, what are you doing? And then I'll like signal to the driver to like stop, because it looks like we're not going to get around him in time. So
Okay. So you ready in action to shoot this guy if he takes an aggressive action. So we'll debate
like
exactly what that'll be, but
if he attacks the horse or one of my friends.
okay, fair enough.
Is that okay?
Sure, yep. And then you alert the driver to slow down. The driver does that, so this is, kind of all happening at once. Is there anything else during this time you're doing?
I have to use my action to ready an action, so I don't have anything else to do. I can't make a perception check to see if there's any other things, so I'll just rely on my passive and hope for the best here.
Okay, so as you ready your action, before we get to Rasmus's turn, you notice that as he was moving quickly, trying to essentially do something, you're not sure quite exactly what it is, he does shout something out in the giant language. Does anybody speak giant?
Gale, don't you speak giant?
I'm looking at my character sheet now. I do not. Dang it.
Okay, so you're not sure exactly what he shouted. He shouted something. The next thing you notice, and I'm going to go ahead and change us to a little bit more up-tempo music at this point.
His friends, dun da 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 da. 32 cloud giants.
That would be a tough battle. You're going to notice to your east, breaking through the tree line suddenly, is another form. This form that breaks through has a orcish bearing to it, but you can see it is larger and clad in plate mail armor, which seems unusual for an orc. Okay, as that individual moves out, he will get to about here, and then you're going to notice he moves very quickly, rushing up to here. And you see, so based on where you guys are right now, Armini, as you're sitting on top of the carriage here, you notice this large creature rushes up to you. It stands nearly 7 feet high, and with this great axe in its hand, it reaches up and takes a swipe at you on top of the carriage here.
Hello, mister.
Give me a defense roll, please. And somehow that image got frozen on the screens, both recording and mine. I'm going to do a quick refresh, guys. Okay, I see that on this side, so yes, that axe will indeed connect. Okay, so we'll get us back there. Alright, so as that axe connects against you, Go ahead and post a second roll as well, as you notice the creature makes a second attack. The first one will manage to hit you for 11 points of slashing.
Can I use my hero points for this one?
You can roll a hero point as a reaction if you mean to try to prevent the attack from hitting.
Yeah, for the second one.
Oh, for the second one? Sure, yep. So let me just double check our handout. Yes, so right. So you can roll a hero point. You have to declare it before you post your defense roll, which you did. So go ahead and roll your defense roll and then click your hero point, and we'll add that to it.
Sorry, just a second.
Yep, no worries.
You're fine. Big money, big money, big money.
Okay, so we'll add 3 to that. That makes your defense roll of 14. Unfortunately, this is still going to connect. So that'll be another 7 points of slashing damage. After that creature's turn, those of you, none of you probably noticed this right away as you are looking towards the sight of this creature rushing towards you, or to the large creature that was tending to this horse or over this horse. But moments later, you hear words being spoken from above you as another opponent joins the fray. This hobgoblin-looking creature, as it steps up to the edge and looks down, begins to motions with its hands. And
I was waiting for someone to cast counterspell.
Can you give us the height of the cliff too, Adam, when you can?
61 feet. No, I'm kidding. It's, let's see, right up there. We'll call that 30 feet.
All right.
Adam, did you say but you just said we couldn't see him, so that's what I'm...
He basically, I'm trying to give you like a good description. So you hear the sounds. You certainly can react if you wish. Okay, so you're using a 3rd level spell. All right, so as he attempts to cast the spell, your counter spell will indeed prevent it. You notice after this happens, he curses in the goblinoid language. If anybody speaks that, I can tell you exactly what he said, but you can tell it's somewhat of a curse. He then shouts...
I speak goblin.
Okay, so you hear him say, yeah, basically that plus counterspeller. Then you hear him shout counterspeller very loudly as he steps back away from the precipice. And now we are to Rasmus's turn.
All right. Rasmus is on top of the cart. How high is the cart, Adam? Let's do some math here.
15 feet.
So Erasmus standing on top of the cart is at like a 15-foot height. So
right.
He's about halfway up the distance to the cliff.
Right. Yep.
Okay. He's gonna bonus action Step of the Wind. And he's gonna use his, I guess the dash version of it, but he's just going to gather the double jump from it. And I'm going to give you a D8. Nice. Okay, so 8 plus...
Alright, so what is your strength modifier?
4.
Okay, so you can high jump 7 feet if you move at least 10 feet on foot before the jump. Does your Step of the Wind do anything to reduce that?
No, it just doubles my jump height.
It doubles your jump height. Can you post that one for me real quick?
Sure, here.
Okay, so since you haven't taken the 10-foot run to do the jump, I think it doesn't really even specify, but I'm going to say that's half because I know it's how the other one works. So if we take, you said your strength modifier was 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 for that, and then and then post Mirthful Leaps for me as well.
So, I mean, even just because Step of the Wind, because it's double, I rolled an 8 on my Mirthful Leap, so that's 16 feet on its own.
Yeah, so that's what I was trying to wonder, if that would double your Mirthful Leaps or not, right? Because it doesn't say like when you add the number in, but yeah, I think that's fair to assume it does. So we'll call that 3 plus 16, so you can jump 19 feet up. So you're at 15, so yeah, you can jump up and basically be just shy of landing. So your hands would have to reach out to grab onto the edge, and then you pull yourself up.
Perfect. And then can you give me a total movement you think would be appropriate for that?
Let's call that 35 feet.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to move here, and this is still with my dash, but I still have that view blocker, Adam. I don't know if you can give
move
me
through it. So just FYI, you will be able to move through it.
Okay.
Once you do, you'll be able to see then normally. So again, this is limitations of Roll20 software, but yeah, feel free. I will tell you before you know, because tactically this might be important, the enemy that just struck you is 15 feet north of you right now.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So we'll go this way. Okay, so here we go. 5, 10, 15. So that would be the distance I can move with my dash. So then I'm going to cover the rest of the distance here, and I am going to just running headbutt right into him for a ram attack.
Okay, you try to hit him with your ram attack, but miss.
Okay, then I'm going to dig my hoof right into the ankle for an unarmed strike.
That one will connect.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna pump a key for a stun and strike. 26.
He is indeed stunned.
He's done. Damn.
There's a nat 20 on that roll. Cool. So that's 8 damage, and then that's all I can do with all of my actions. So I'll actually move because I still have some movement to here, and then end my turn.
All right.
Shout down from the cliff, "I'll take this one!" And then he'll leap, and you guys see him just disappear above the cliff.
All right, you're going to notice some more movement from that copse of trees to your east. As another opponent rushes out. And will rush to there. A third opponent covers the forest distance and is going to rush to here and actually pull himself up on the back of the car. Okay, now this guy's turn. Okay, so what he's going to do is you're going to notice as he leaves the ground just flying without any kind of wings or any kind of spell casting, just seems to naturally float up in the air. As he does, he gets up to about 30 feet above all of you, and you're going to notice he casts a spell now. Okay, and after he casts this spell, I'm going to need Spectre, Kurtu, Hugo, Gale to all give me Constitution saving throws.
Can I choose to hero point it?
You can.
Nice.
I'd like to do that.
2 hot ones out the gate.
I'll fuck it up, don't worry. Can I use my inspiration to reroll?
You can, yes.
Highly
Stop calling your
encouraged.
shots like that, man.
God damn it.
Hey,
Okay,
it's not a net zero, right?
so Spectre will fail. Gale, Kurtu, you will both succeed. Hugo, you will succeed. Okay, so the 3 of you will take half damage. Spectre, you will take full. Okay, so 42 damage to Spectre, 21 to the rest of you. So you notice as this guy's flying, he points his hands downward, and this massive burst of cold energy just flies down. You can see, based on the way that he has angled this, that he intentionally avoided Harmony because he didn't want to have to hit his own guy. So this cone basically comes down, hits like this. This horse, I'm not even going to bother rolling a check. It is just frozen into a block of ice. All right, so that is his turn. Let me go ahead and throw... I'm going to throw a couple dots on him to indicate the height he is flying.
Real quick, I just want to go on record as saying that's the longest I think we've ever had a horse.
All right, next up is Hugo.
I wonder what.
Okay.
Turn.
Okay. So he's up in the air. I'm gonna try to, as a bonus action, telekinetically pull him 5 feet closer to Hugo,
Okay.
like downwards towards him.
Right, yep, gotcha. You managed to do so, so I will reduce his height by 5.
And then you know it, you love it. Fireball.
All right, now this one might be a little bit we'll have to just be careful before we trigger anything. But go ahead and click that, get it on map, put it where you want, and then remind me if you have any special, like carving out, people don't get hit, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's got that evocation thing.
I get the sculpt spell.
Okay, let me just double check. I know that's limited to a certain number of people, if I remember correctly.
Yes, so I believe it's
Plus the spell's level.
yeah.
Aren't we
so I have
sitting
4
on a wooden cart?
Well, keep in mind,
Yeah,
you
but
can't debate the spell because you're not sure what's happening. You just see him motioning with his hands. So, all right, so let me send this to back first of all.
I mean, the cart just got insanely blasted with cold as well, right? Like ice and whatnot.
Oh, weird. Okay, that's staying on top for, I don't know if that's... Yeah, so unfortunately it looks like that will not go to back, and I'm not sure why, but it'll still work. So you can prevent 4 people from being hit from this effect. So right now, let's see, we've got the horse being hit, and then all of the opponents, as well as with you. Okay, all right. So that would be...
So if I put it there, right, it won't hit the horses, but army would be in there, but I can sculpt it around.
Right. Okay, so you're going to hit all of the opponents because you're going to put it high enough up in the air that the 20-foot radius gets the guy flying.
Yeah, that was the plan, hopefully, to get him in there.
Okay, that makes sense. Yep, so 20-foot radius. So basically, if you put it at the 15-foot mark, it goes 20 down. 20-foot rate. Yeah, that'll work. Yep, so as long as it's between the two of them, you can hit him up in the air. You sculpt Armony, so I'm going to... let me just move that for a sec. I'm going to move Armony out of there. Go ahead and put it again exactly where you like. And then that way Armony won't have to adjust her sheet or anything as far as who's getting hit. Okay, and then when you're ready, go ahead and do your trigger all. The cart will get burnt on the bottom side here. And yes, maybe some effects there, but yes, that will hit all the opponents.
Not the hand drum!
Okay, so you will notice that some of the opponents fail to save and are burnt. You notice these large orc creatures that are clad in this armor. One of them is burnt very badly. It looks like he is near death. The flying guy also took quite a bit of damage here. 2 of the rest of them succeeded, suffering only partial damage. The flames wrap around Armony, not striking her at all. However, the cart itself is burnt.
Sorry about your cart. We can go back to the bridge and buy another one, Hugo says in the midst of battle. And then he's going to action surge and do it again.
Nice.
All right, yeah, go ahead and burn your action surge.
All right, what I was gonna do is gonna change now. That's awesome.
Battle mages are so cool.
Rasmus is just sitting up on the cliff and he turns around as 2 massive explosions go off behind him. The fuck?
We're handling it. Don't worry.
Perchy's all sad that he can't sculpt the spells. He wants to do it too.
All right, let me just back that up one more time. We'll get Armony out of there, and then go ahead. Okay, and with these additional flames, you notice the flying guy
Nice.
looking pretty hurt. 2 of these large orc-like creatures are burnt to a crisp. The one still next to you is still standing, but looking badly hurt.
All right. And Hugo's like, you messed with the wrong people this time. And that's the end of his turn. I'm going to burn the 2 spell. Actually, I'll just mark it off of my sheet, the 2 spell slots, because the triggers ring doesn't do that for me. But
Okay.
I'll mark those off. That's the end of Hugo's turn.
Okay, Kurtu, your turn.
All right, Adam. What I said I was going to do, I'm not going to do it. All right. Do I have any problem seeing this guy from where I'm at, Adam?
The guy on the ground?
Yeah.
No.
All right. I'm just going to go ahead and firebolt him. I am not going to hero point it though, just in case. So we'll see.
Yes, your firebolt will connect. And yes, this last one is also just torched in flames.
All right. I am going to sorcery point for another shot though.
Okay, go ahead and burn. So it sounds like you want a quicken spell.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Sorry. And I'm actually going to cast Mind Sliver on that guy right there.
The guy that's flying.
Yeah.
Okay. And go ahead and throw me a spell effect roll.
It looks like I may have to move my guy because. Oh.
Yeah, it looks like you're on the measurement to him. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I was,
you
yeah.
Mind Sliver, but he is not affected.
Right, that'll end my turn.
Okay, before Gale's turn, Rasmus, you will notice this, but I don't think anybody else will see this right away. So I won't mention specifically what you see, but you obviously can see it. Okay, this guy will get down to here, and in what looks to be a fairly familiar sight, you will hear the chanting of words once again. And I don't think anyone's even close enough to have to worry about counterspell. No. Okay, so you will notice a bright red bead flying down and suddenly explode all around you. I will need all of you to give me dexterity saving throws.
Me also?
No, not you.
Oh, I was about to say, wow.
That's a big fireball.
Yeah, I was like, damn, this is a meteor swarm or something?
So I'm going to add my +3 to this, Adam, for Shield Master.
I think if I remember correctly, we already built that in for you as like an additional mod.
Oh, do I click a different button then? Because it's... Oh,
Let me just double check your sheet real quick.
yeah, you have it click. I have it clicked. I have to click the box. It's
Right, yep.
Okay, cool. All right.
It's that other horse's kibosh too, huh?
Yes, yep. Okay, so as this ball of fire explodes and encompasses all of you guys on the cart, I've got your 4 saves. So Spectre, you will succeed. Kurtu, you will fail. Armony, you will fail. Gale, you will succeed. So those of you that succeeded, Hugo, you will succeed. You'll suffer 17 points of fire damage. Those of you that failed, it'll be 34 points of fire damage.
Can I use my reaction to take no damage?
I believe you can with that feat, yes.
Excellent.
Okay, that was his turn, and now it is Gale's turn.
All right, so there's no way I can reach this big Baluka because he's 25 feet near and 10 feet away from the cart. Even though the cart's 10 feet up in the sky, there's no way, right, Adam?
Now
He's-
like a master.
Was it 34 or 35?
It's at 25 right now.
The guy is flying 25 feet above the ground, right? So over the cart, he's an additional 10 feet above the cart. So even if you tried to run and try to swing at him, yeah, I don't see you jumping 10 feet up in the air.
10 feet up and 10 feet out.
You're not like
That's
a
gotta be-
satyr, of course.
Yeah, no.
You didn't design your entire character around being able to jump vast distances.
Well, shoot, where is my friend? So I don't know what to do, except that I may come over here. I'm gonna climb down at him. I'm sure it's pretty easy to move.
Yes, yep. That would just call that difficult terrain if you're climbing down the front, so 10 feet to get there.
All right, 10, 20, 10, 15, 25. I'll move there. And I did not have my sword in hand while traveling, but I do have my shield on. So I'm going to grab my javelin and throw it at him.
Well, that's awfully convenient. You always wear your shield, but you don't carry your sword? That seems
Well,
a little suspect, you're saying.
Well, he's got to help guide the driver, you know. He probably
Sure,
won't run it.
sure. You'll go with that.
I'm not going to drive with a sword in my hand.
I get that. I just can't imagine having a shield strapped on the entire time you're driving either.
Well, he's a shield
but fair
master.
enough.
So I would say the only reason why you should have it is because he's a shield master.
Can you imagine how tired it would be to hold onto a shield the entire time over days of travel?
That's why he's so ornery.
Fair
I'm
enough.
sitting there. I'm sitting there, right? It's easy. I have it propped on the board.
Yeah, okay. So you throw the javelin up towards him. The range on that is 30 feet. So that will be at disadvantage, which means you will miss.
I
He's
thought he
at
was going down
25
to
feet.
25.
25 feet up. Well, yeah, I guess actually on diagonals that would work. So yeah, that will hit.
Stupid
Bust out
Pythagorean
math.
theorem.
Okay, so no dueling style, so 5.
Great. I stuck you. Now come after me.
Okay, so the javelin does indeed strike him. You say this, he doesn't seem to react anyway, obviously.
All right. Bonus action, second wind in case he's got another one of those things going, and then I'll end my turn.
Okay, before Armony's turn, you'll notice once again from that cover of the trees to the east bursts forth another one of these large orc creatures. He will rush to here, and then he will continue rushing and get to there. Harmony, your turn.
Okay. Harmony is gonna move over here, and I will cast. Oh, yeah, okay. Where is my spirit totem? So we're gonna get. Oh, hold on a second. It's hard to use Noah's computer. There we go. And how do I drop that on?
I think we created that for you, right?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find where we put that.
I think. Yeah. No, it doesn't. Oh, is it a summon? No, that's a treasure.
I seem to remember we did have that though, but yeah, I'm not seeing it right now. Let me look through, but continue with your turn. I'll find something real quick for you.
Okay, then I'm going to cast. Mass healing word. Yeah. That's a bonus action?
Yeah, I believe Mass Healing Word is a bonus action.
Yep, and so is Spirit Totem. Yeah, so only one of those. So would you like to keep the spirit totem or keep the healing word?
Let's do. The spirit totem. And I'm gonna reach out to. Man, okay. Sorry. Who am I close to? Pertu. And cast. Oh my god, this computer. Cure wounds.
Okay, that'll work. So yep, action cure wounds on Kurtu.
Alright,
You says thank you.
why is this not gonna? Is it?
Okay, so let's see. Kurtu will get a total of 10 HP from the spell. And then with your Unicorn Blessing, you are a level 3 druid, so everybody gets 3 HP back, including Kurtu. So Kurtu, give yourself another 3, everybody else can give themselves 3.
And then if I climb off of the cart here, is it possible to get the hide behind the cart in a way that I am hidden? I'm like receive cover from this guy.
From where he currently is, yes, but obviously if he wanted to, he could just fly right above you. So yes, but currently, sure.
Okay.
Okay, so we move to the top of the round. So Spectre, you had a readied action when he did something hostile. So I would say he clearly did something hostile when he cast a spell at you. So feel free to take that single readied action.
I can't because I used my reaction to hero point something.
Okay, good deal. So we ignore that. Move to the top of round. It's round 2. Your turn.
All right, I'm gonna Hunter's Mark the floating guy. Let's see. Like that. And I'm going to make 2 shots at him. I will make... do I want to spend a hero point? I think I do for the first one. So I will spend a hero point to add some amount of accuracy to this hit.
Okay.
3. And then
Yes, that will hit.
hit for 8 magical, plus the 5 from the Hunter's Mark. And
Okay.
then
That arrow strikes and wounds him.
one more time.
Yes, that will hit as well.
So 12 plus another 2. 14.
Okay, both arrows strike into him as he's flying there. He looks quite wounded.
Okay, do I have anything? No, but seeing the fireballs and such, I will use my movement to get down off the cart, just to spread us out a little bit. So 10 feet to get down here?
Yes.
Okay. And then 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Try to get my back to the wall here so that any casters up there may not see me. And then I will use my bonus action, cutting action.
Nope, you Hunter's
Cutting
Mark.
action. Oh yeah, I Hunter's Mark. Never mind. Yeah, you're right. Then I'll even go farther for the last 5 feet of my movement.
Okay.
Then we're good.
Okay, this guy's stunned. Remind me, he's stunned until the beginning of your turn or end of your turn, Rasmus?
End of Rasmus's turn.
End of Rasmus's turn. Okay, his turn ends. Move to Rasmus.
Okie dokie. Well, Rasmus is going to grapple him at him.
Okay, being stunned, I'm pretty sure he auto-fails that.
Yes, he fails all strength and dexterity checks and saves. I'm gonna move him to here.
Okay, so you'll spend 40 feet to get him to there.
And then I'm just gonna push him off the cliff.
Yes, he will certainly tumble on down, striking down below. Go ahead and roll me 3d6 plus 1d8, as he's taking the fall damage and also smacking into this like wood and stuff along the way.
Nice, I didn't know that would do extra damage. I was just thinking of a good spot to drop him.
Yeah, he definitely lands there looking hurt and still stunned for the moment.
Perfect. And that's probably a full action, right?
Grapple is your action, yeah. So you technically would have like an attack left, but not another action.
Gotcha, I understand what you're saying. That's all I needed to know. I'm going to move here with my remaining 10 feet of movement, and I am going to... I got some key left. Let's go ahead and Step of the Wind again for bonus action. Dash, and I'm going to get up into this guy's space, and I will interact with objects to draw my battle axe and take two-handed swings.
With what
why
action?
two?
Or one, sorry.
One, okay.
One two-handed swing is what I meant to say.
Okay, yes, and your strike definitely connects. And yes, you slash him and he is wounded.
Alright, and I'm going to try to catch him with the broadside of the axe and hit him with another stunning strike. 26 again.
Again. Good lord.
Okay, let me double check something just real quick.
He's a Kensei monk, so his battle axe should be his monk weapon. It should count if that's what you're looking at.
That's exactly what I was double checking. Yeah, and the way it's written, it just says melee weapon attack. So yep, that does work. Yes, if
Yep.
26, you know that's definitely going to work. He is stunned.
Good shit, Dylan.
Thank God.
Nice. And that's my turn.
Okay, this guy's turn. Okay, now he's a pretty smart opponent, so let's see what he's going to do. You're going to see him fly down behind the cart and out of your line of sight, Kurtu, and then you'll hear him cast a spell. Hugo, your turn.
Okay. Could Hugo have used could I have used my reaction to determine that what spell he was casting? Is that possible?
Because you couldn't see him, if you want to use your reaction, I'll give you a check at disadvantage just hearing the words.
Sure. I just want to make sure it's invisibility or whatever. So is this blind check?
Yes. All right, so taking this at disadvantage for Arcana, it is indeed invisibility.
Okay. Hugo's sort of blew his load on the first one there, so he is going to get off the burning cart first, hop off, and sort of moves over this way, boom, boom. And I guess he'll just hold the dead on the stunned guy.
You mean the one that's prone on the ground?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, go ahead and throw that in a spell effect roll. Yes, that will certainly work as that necrotic energy courses through his body and wounds him.
Okay, and then as a bonus action, he's going to second wind. That is not correct, by the way. So it's just 8 plus 2 instead of 8 plus 9.
Okay.
It's the only 2 levels higher.
Yep, I gotta
So,
fix that macro for you.
And then Hugo will yell out, "Watch out, he went invisible up there." And that will be the end of his turn.
Okay, Kurtu.
Yeah, so I'm going to Misty Step to up here at him. Using my feet where it doesn't expel a spell slot.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
And then I'm going to go ahead and... well, shoot, I'm just going to go ahead and shoot at this guy here. With a... I'm going to go ahead and Quicken Spell.
Okay.
And then also, Adam, I'm going to use one sorcery point to go ahead and make it so that I am resistant to fire too when I cast this here.
Okay. So at disadvantage, that will still hit. Go ahead and post damage.
And not a lot of damage. All right, but that'll end my turn.
You quicken spell, right? So isn't that a second one?
He Misty stepped as well.
Oh, right. Thank you. Yep.
It still counts as a spell cast. He just doesn't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. But wait a minute. Misty Step is a bonus action. So if you bonus action, then Firebolt, why would you need to quicken spell?
Oh, I guess I wouldn't. Yep. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm so used to sorcery points, you know.
I knew something was not right there. I couldn't. Just give yourself back those sorcery points, and everything else is good. Okay,
right.
This guy's turn. He's still stunned, so his turn ends, and then we move to Gale.
I'm sorry, Bill. Did you take Elemental Adept or not? I keep forgetting.
Yes.
Doesn't that let you re-roll 1s and 2s, or something? That might be a different.
No, that's a different one.
He's got elemental
took it.
Affinity. Is that one?
Yeah, so they can't be resistant to my fire. Sorry. Yeah.
All right, Gale.
All right, excellent. I am just going to stay here and finally draw my sword and attack him. So I got sword and board. Here
As
we go.
you draw your blade out, your arm feels really nice and loose, like you hadn't been holding something really heavy in it for a long time.
So mad.
That's funny.
First strike misses.
All right, second attack.
Also misses.
That's not very good.
Good to get that workout in there.
let me do inspiration on this one because I feel like I should have hit him.
Okay, you burn your inspiration to reroll, and yes, you do.
And then I want to spend the superiority die, and I want to try to trip him, please. So I'll do trip attack right now.
Okay. He is not tripped. Pretty tough trying to get this big brute to the ground.
And then I will action surge, and we'll try it all again.
Okay, go ahead and burn your action surge.
Okay, so we'll go again. This time,
That will connect.
and I could do superior only once per turn. I can do no, I can do every
You can
attack.
do it every hit if you want.
Yeah.
attack,
So I'm gonna
yeah.
do it tripping here.
No, he is not tripped. Do me a favor, just click on the word trip attack there, because I feel like I built this in so you could just click that and it would roll it automatically for you.
That's what I've been hitting.
It's posting it like that. Okay.
It's posted like that, and I actually hit the dice on the left, the dice roller, and hit the D8.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Let me just see something real quick. Yeah, so if you click on the word trip attack in the chat, just FYI, you know how you click it and it posts it to make it like hit?
Oh.
I built it in to do the damage roll on the die for you as well, just so you wouldn't have to manually do it.
Oh, heck. If I hit him, let's try it again.
Okay, so not trip, took that extra damage. Yes, that definitely hits.
Okay, and then I'll do the trip.
This time he is tripped, so go ahead and post blade damage first.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. That works too. So
I was excited.
Yeah. So let's see. That's a total of 17 points of damage between that and the spirited die. That is enough to slay him.
Finally, I did something good. Okay, where is everybody else? So they're going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Do I bump into a BBEG?
You do not.
Okay, in my turn.
Okay, Harmony.
Harmony yells, Rasmus, do you feel the strengthening protection from the unicorn?
Is that what's tickling me?
Is it tickling you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Okay.
I have lost 0 health this fight, though, if that helps.
Oh, well, at least you have an increased ability to detect creatures.
You have a feeling
what
this
an-
conversation's getting kind of lengthy for a 6-second turn. All right, bonus action, and who would you... let's see, I think you can get everybody with that, right?
The goal is to get everybody.
Up to 6 creatures within 60 feet. Yeah, I don't see anybody that's not within 60. So everybody gets back 6, and then because of the unicorn, another 3, so everybody gets back 9.
Does this not benefit from Disciple of Life?
That would be only the... yeah, good question. Yeah, actually, I think it would. So let's see, 9, and then that's a level 3 spell. So it should be 2 plus 3 is 5. So 6, 9, 14 for everybody.
Jeez.
Nice.
Gotta figure out why that macro is not working right too. But anyway, yeah, 14 for everybody.
I felt the tickle, Harmony.
Hope you're not ticklish. Okay. And I think, I guess I'll aim for this one.
Okay. And
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What would you like to aim at him?
Okay. Sacred Flame.
Okay.
Still healing with my spells.
No worries. Go ahead and throw a spell effect roll, and we'll see if this manages to get him.
There we go. Did that work? No. There we go.
You do indeed, and as those radiant flames descend upon him, he is slain. Okay, top of the round, Spectre.
Okay. So the way Hunter's Mark works is that it gives some kind of bonus to find something that is marked, I believe. Would that require my action though to see if I can spot the invisible guy?
So you're doing a quick double read. Right, so if you want to use your action to try to perceive exactly where he went, you'd have advantage on that check.
Not worth it. Okay, if I move 5, 10, 15, 20, is there an angle that I can get to that I can see this guy?
I don't think so. No, because he's up 30 feet. You would have to be like, no. But what I will say is if you want to somehow use your movement and get like all the way over to here, this is, if you climb up this, difficult terrain to climb up it, but that would get you up like an extra 15 feet. I would say you would have a line from there.
Spectre, I could just throw him down there. You could shoot him as he falls.
Yeah, but I only get one attack that way. Okay, yeah, I will listen to Rasmus then, and I will use my... How far are these, like, branches sticking out? Like, if I were to go, like, underneath them, could I still see this guy, like, dropping?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will do that. I'm 15, I think. 20, 25. And I will ready a shot for when I see him... When I see an enemy. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that good?
That'll work, yeah. Ready to action once you see him land.
Do I want to use my bonus action for anything? No. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready to shoot if I see an enemy.
Okay, Rasmus.
Alright, I'm going to start with a good initial swing with the axe again, and I'm going to try to cleave his head off, take away the glory from Spectre.
That will hit. It's at advantage. Now, stun doesn't give crit, so that's just right. So normal attack.
And, yeah, not paralyzed.
Okay, so he'll be wounded from that.
Alright, and then after I like cleave all the way through, I'm going to grab him with my free hand, and I'm going to move him like from here to here.
Okay, so
And then drop.
10, 20 feet. Drop him down.
And-
Okay, throw me 3d6 again.
Can I shoot before he hits the ground?
If you had worded it as soon as I see him, I want to shoot. So
That's what I said. When I see an enemy.
Oh well, I reiterated and said when he lands on the ground, you want to shoot. And
I
said,
didn't
yeah.
hear you say that, but my intention is
Fair
I
enough.
said
He doesn't want the
the
steel
invisibility
call.
guy popped
We'll
up.
give you a try to shoot him as he's falling through the air. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, that will hit,
Nice shot.
which wounds him, and then he falls prone.
Okie dokie. I know that the other guy's down there being all sneaky and invisible, so I'm just gonna stay up here in my turn.
Okay, before Hugo's turn, Gale, you will feel like a rush of air as something large nearby you moves away from you.
I want to swing my sword at it.
You can't because being unable to see the opponent means you cannot take opportunity attacks.
Well, I still want to try to. That's okay, bye.
You swing wildly but miss. Okay, Hugo, your turn.
Okay.
He's nearby me. He made a squish noise. I almost hit him.
He's
All
probably
right.
not nearby you anymore.
No survivors.
Well, I have to at least tell people, otherwise it's not going to work mechanically.
Was Gale able to determine the direction it was going?
No.
There's still this guy. You could hit him. He's still alive and is gonna.
I don't like survivors, so he's gonna cast Fireball one more time.
I'm kidding.
A little.
All right, yeah, see
Do
where you
you?
put it.
I love it.
There's no way he's there anymore.
Yeah, I guess just to cover my bases.
There you go.
I'll do it. Right here.
Okay. Yep, feel free to trigger all. We'll see if he's there. Okay, the fireball explodes, burning that creature to a crisp, but you don't see any other impact.
All right. He's not over there. Someone else. No, we have this aura from the unicorn.
Yes.
And it says it gives us advantage on detecting creatures. Does that apply to this invisible person?
If you use an action to try to perceive where the individual's at, yes, it would apply.
I thought
Okay.
that was the hawk, not the unicorn. Oh, no, you're right.
No, spirit,
Yeah.
yeah, unicorn does that.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case, since I use my action to do fireball, I'm gonna just that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Okay, so in the essence of time here, is anybody going to try to do anything wildly or whatever to detect where this guy has gone?
I'll just try to make an active perception check, but I think he is out of here.
Yes.
I should have advantage with the hunter's mark, but even so, don't imagine I'm going to spot him, but I'll try.
Okay, so it sounds like we've got a couple people wanting to do stuff. So, Kurtu, go ahead and take your turn. Anything specific you're doing?
I'm just readying an action, so if I see him, I'm gonna shoot a firebolt.
Okay,
That or my
firebolt ready action. All right, I'll skip past you. Gale, anything you're doing?
Well, yeah, I'm going to run over here 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then I don't bump into anyone. I'm going to do a dodge action.
Okay, you dodge. And then we'll move quickly to Army. Army, what would you like to do? All right, yeah, pick a location where you would like to target that.
Where was Gale originally? I think right.
He was just behind the cart.
Yeah, like over here.
Okay.
Actually, I was just to the left of your unicorn. Exactly is where it was. Yep.
And so I just drag this.
With your token selected, if you go over to your macro section, you will find one called Cast Fairy Fire. Just click on the little die icon, and it should pop a targeting icon right on top of you.
Yeah, it's not liking me.
No worries. Here, let me get that going for you.
And go to my turn.
All right. See if you can move that. Oh, it looks like you did it too. Okay, excellent. So you go ahead and use
I did
yours. Looks like there's one on top of you now. Yep, there you go.
Oh, there's another one. Oh, double bot.
Let me get rid of one of
Wind
them.
spell.
Okay.
Remember, the fireball didn't just hit him, so.
I don't know.
The fireball, yeah, right. And the fireball was out this way because it killed this guy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And they did run at us from the east as well.
It's so hard to choose. I wish it was bigger.
It's like, right, I was going to say, this is
Going
like
to Vegas.
needle in a haystack right now, I'll just tell you.
We're not going to find him, but we're going to try.
You sunk my battleship.
I mean, I normally would put him over here, but because Gale literally just ran straight through there, I feel like he would have bumped into him. He's not small.
He's also. Or maybe he's not flying.
Oh, yeah, I'll just try that.
If you make it, you're lucky anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
it's any
And
spot.
we already know from my rolls that's not the case. What do I hit?
With your token selected, you should see something that says Trigger All.
Oh, there it is.
All right, the fairy fire explodes in that area, covering it with fairy dust, but no, nothing is revealed there.
Okay. Well,
Good shot, though.
tried.
Alright.
Okay, top of the round, Spectre, you said active perception check. Go ahead and throw a
Yeah,
blind
can I
check.
move first?
Sure.
Yeah, can I move?
Absolutely.
Because I think because they charged at us from the east, if they're retreating, they're probably going back the way. So I would like to focus my efforts this way, but I will make an active perception check. I get advantage because of Hunter's Mark. Or, I mean, you blind check, right?
Yes.
Roll 20 is lagging. There we go.
Okay, so based on that check, I would say you feel this strange sensation from your hunter's mark, directing you to your west-west-north.
West, west, north. So I will yell out and point in the direction that you said, which
Okay.
I'm assuming is like this way.
Yep, yeah.
Kurtu, if anyone can get him, you can. Or maybe Rasmus, if you're quick enough. I think you are. That's my turn, by the way.
All right, and we'll go ahead and, all right, so Rasmus, anything you're doing quickly?
Sorry, I was eating goldfish. I'm gonna hold my action. If I see him, I'm gonna use my action to dash to him.
Such a Rasmus thing to do, right? Eat gold. Okay, so that would get to his turn. I don't think there's any way you guys are going to be able to catch him now. He is flying and invisible, so I'm going to go ahead and exit out of combat for us here, guys.
Is our driver okay?
The driver was sitting on top, so absolutely not. Between the cone of cold and the fireball, unfortunately, he is a toasty pop.
Shoot, I just bought him
Not
rations
Hugo's
too.
fireball. Not Hugo's
Yeah,
fireball.
dude,
No,
that's
not Hugo's. No.
Carto, do you want to check around up here on top of this hill, or do you want me to pick you up and jump down?
I'm gonna scoot on down easily on this stuff here. I'm just gonna go slow. Use rope or whatever.
Okay, as long as you're using rope, because yeah, the branches don't seem really good to hold your weight or anything, even though you're small. But yeah, with rope you can get down without too much effort. I think I heard somebody say death saves. Cone of Cold honestly did so much damage that would have killed him outright. So yeah, he would be a frozen statue.
rip in peace.
I'm gonna jump off the cliff and slowly drift down. As Kurtu is spending all of that time trying to shimmy down, I'm just gonna gently fall and land beside this guy. Land beside this guy over here and start rummaging through his pockets, see if he's got anything.
I'm gonna get on the cart and like survey the damage, like see what supplies we have that are salvageable.
Okay, so for ease of play here, what I'm going to say is the cart itself does not look salvageable, but the majority of your supplies look like they're okay. So obviously you got like a layer of frost on top of your rations, but once it thaws out, you think they'll be fine. I don't think there was anything particularly brittle or safe, or I'm sorry, like really fragile, I should say, that you guys are storing up here. Pretty much just traveling supplies, right?
How's
Well,
Gail's
except
statue,
for
baby?
except for my little girl statue.
She's got like a rime of frost on her, but other than that, she looks fine.
Excellent.
The wardrobe.
Wardrobe.
The wardrobe.
Oh, wardrobe. Okay.
The big drum we had.
Right, from the hill giant. Yeah, so again, covered with ice, but doesn't look like it's damaged.
He's gonna start burying the driver.
Okay, so Harmony will start digging a hole to bury the driver. Okay, guys, so as we are at the end of our session time here, we'll go ahead and pause here, pick up next week. I noticed you guys are obviously going to search these bodies, see if there's anything of interest. Rasmus is already doing that here, so we will determine those actions next week. To get a quick update on your course of action, I'm assuming you guys are going to continue making your way to Subar. Once you get to Subar, you're going to resolve the issue with the statue, or try to track down the statue's mother. And then once you're complete there, is your plan to go overland back to Waterdeep?
Yeah.
Well,
Wait, so no one wants to go back to the market and see if we can get different transportation?
That's an idea as well.
The transportation, like, we don't travel any faster than if we walk.
Do we?
Not
it,
really.
it saves us from exhaustion, though.
Yeah, it just means we could walk. We can go further before a long rest. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest. Walk. It's the same speed.
It does help you carry more. I would say that's one of the nice benefits. But yes.
Yeah, I'm not carrying the drum.
Well, right now we're not carrying that much, so maybe we can get one at Subar.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable, because all we're doing is dropping off the statue, right? So obviously that's not what's
we
gonna
don't
happen,
really
because
know
we're
what
not
it is.
That's our hope anyway, right?
plan.
A magical statue that says he wants to meet its mother, so there might be more to it than that.
Yeah, there's probably a little more, but I don't feel the need to go back to town, get another cart, then come back this way. I think, how far did we get? Like 4 to 6 hours into the travel, was it?
Yeah, about 4 hours, yep.
Okay. And we said it was like 3 days?
2.5-ish days.
2.5. Okay. So if we've got tents, I don't know exactly what we have on the cart, but if we've got enough supplies to just huff it ourselves, I think we can make this journey without it, and then when we either get a new cart in Subar or we get a new cart on our return trip, because we got to come back this way anyway.
So no one's thinking of abandoning the Subar trip now that we don't have a cart? We're just going to hoof it anyways?
We're just 2 days
We already
away.
came all this way. If we back,
I'm for going to Subar. That's my vote. Go Subar, get a cart there if we need to.
I like how
You can
the
keep
satyrs said
asking,
we're
but
gonna
we're
do
not
it.
going
deadly
to.
encounters down there. It'll be good.
Okay, so, alright, sounds like you guys have at least a general plan then. Walk to Subar, take care of the statue in a situation. Once that is complete, make your way back to Borskar Bridge, perhaps picking up transportation, Subar, perhaps not, depending on what you find there. But going overland back through Dragonspear, of course, I know that Rasmus is going to want to check in on Ben's status there at Dragonspear. He's probably been worried about that for a while. And then continue on way back to Waterdeep.
Sounds good to
Sounds
me.
good.
All right, good session, everybody. Hope everybody enjoyed it. We will see everybody next week.
Have a good
Huzzah.
week. Enjoy.
Good night, boys.
Yeah. Next week, actually, me and Libby are going to be gone too. So we're traveling to New York at that point. So I don't think it's
Okay.
going to be possible to play.
Then
but
maybe
just
we
ahead.
cancel because I got my family stuff.
Yeah, so
I
once
would
it
simplify
posts up
things.
there, yeah, if you guys do the decline or the tentative, it sounds like that'll probably be a skip session. But let's go ahead and do that just to make it official.
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds
Cool.
good. See you guys all
Good game, guys.
2 weeks most likely. That night, everybody.